What's up, tricksters and tricksetters, and welcome to another Tier 3 sub VOD review presented by my favorite rating coach, CHARLATAN Papito. Today at our coaching table, we once again have our friend PK, who is a Vyse main playing on Sunset in a Diamond Elo. And we can already see one mistake. And that mistake is, who the fuck plays Vyse in 2025 after all of these nerfs and buffs? So, listen, like, Vyse is still a pretty decent and pretty good sentinel for a map such as Sunset, and to be honest, like, probably the best sentinel for a map such as Sunset. But playing Vyse in Diamond, with all of the boosted gorillas and mentally disabled, you know, personalities. Oh la lula la la la. You have to be crazy. You have to be crazy. But we're gonna do a VOD review, no problem. Like, let's see what you can do better on Vyse, how should you play Vyse, and what type of setups you should do. But I definitely didn't coach you on Vyse, so I don't know what. Why are you playing Vyse, man? You know, we already did some VOD reviews for this guy, and like, what happened to you, man? Like, what type of demons, you know, possessed you, brother? Like, relax a bit. Now, let's read what he said to us. Hi, this is PK. When we started the 1 month coaching, I was hardstyle in Gold 3, Platinum 1, and with a training routine, got to Diamond 1. I got busy with the PhD stuff, so I didn't play for a while after Diamond 1. I know, because you didn't really, you know, you didn't stay in touch with me, or, you know, we didn't really exchange any messages after that, which we should. You know, remember that you still have my 24/7 support. If you're done with your, you know, college, PhD and stuff like that, I'm here for you. 24/7. Clip reviews, questions, you know. You get the point. This is a different account, but I used to share it with friends because it has a lot of skins. I moved to Asia last year, and since I've spent around $3,000 on this account, I decided to make it my main by switching its region. Okay. So, my actual tracker for me playing on this account starts from episode 9. I couldn't play V25 Act 1, 4 because I had a lot of work. Okay, good. My primary issues, at least for me, I followed your advice to stop playing Sage and switch to Phoenix. But after a 4-act break, I was scared to lock Phoenix again, so I started filling, and now I don't feel fully comfortable on anything. So now I have no idea what to play. Now I remember you. Listen, man. Like, the worst thing that you can do in ranked solo queue of Valorant is fill and flex every single game. Especially if you made some kind of a break. Like, you know, you didn't play the game for 4 acts, 5 acts, 3 years, I don't know. It is always better that you come back to your roots, you know? That you come back to what worked previously, that, you know, what got you to Diamond 1 at the first place. The training, the routines, the agents. And then, you know, like, we can experiment a bit later, once you come back into the game. But how did we end up with Vyse, bro? You know? Like, as far as I remember, I remember that Sage made you really slow, really passive, and the reason why I wanted us to go with Phoenix, because, you know, it's not really a movement agent, it is a very self-sustainable solo carry, especially for low elo lobbies. Like, I don't see a reason why would you go on Vyse. But if you want to play Vyse, I have nothing against it. Just Vyse is the agent. Actually, let me see my tier list. Like, fuck, I'm gonna check that later. But I think, you know, Vyse generally, like, I would not play Vyse until I reach, like, at least, like, Immortal 1 or something like that. Like, there's no way, bro. Like, literally, there's no way. It's a suicide. If you want to play some Sentinel up to Immortal, you used to lock the Cypher, and that's it. Done. In most episodes, I start with a decent KD, but by the end, I've been going negative every game. I also die a lot, even in winning scenarios. Okay. We're gonna see what's going on there, as per usual. Now, you know, beninging and the ending in ginging doesn't have to do anything with this, you know, like basically when you play 100 games of Valorant during an act, you will get an average how you actually perform in this game. You know, like sometimes you're gonna have, in the first 20 games, you might, you know, solo carry every match. You might drop some crazy kills. But to actually see, you know, how you perform as a player and you know, what is your average performance in the game, you need to play minimum 100 matches. So like, you know, you're going negative at the start, and it doesn't matter. Like basically, what truly matters is like your average performance overall, and not how you're playing it, you know, during a day or during 1 week or some shit like that. Now, current goal: get ascended 1 before V25 ends, and maybe not be so bad at aiming. Okay. Playtime question: is it possible to play only 2 to 3 games per day and still? Well, absolutely. Like 2 to 3 ranked games is the minimal optimal requirement. Now, why do I say optimal? Because during three games is usually the amount of games that is perfect for an average player's like stamina and focus. You know, most gamers just don't have enough focus to play more than 3 games at the same level, and 3 games is more than enough. You know, 3 games where you're fully focused, ready to win, ready to perform, ready to fucking dominate, with some kind of an aim training and other type of training as well, like more than enough to rank up fast as well. You know, not slow. Like that is like you know, if you play 3 ranked games every day, that is like 180 matches in an act. More than enough to go from Diamond 1 to even Immortal 1 within 1 act. More than enough. Now, agent question. Of all of the agents in the game, Neon seems most fun to me to watch, but whenever I try her, she seems impossibly difficult to execute. Listen, Neon is a very niche type of pick. Like, Neon is the agent that I recommend only to players that are mechanically far above average for their current skill level. Now, Neon is the agent that requires a lot of awareness, a lot of pre-planning, very good mechanical skill, movement, everything. Like, essentially, it's a niche pick that is suitable maybe for 0.1% of Valorant rank community. And, you know, if Neon seems impossible for you right now to execute, don't. Just don't touch her for now. Like, when should you touch Neon? In a non-sexual way, of course. When you feel that you're mechanically ready to play Neon. You know, you feel that, you know, if you're playing in Diamond 1, you can win 60 to 70% of your 50-50 duels. When you feel that, you know, you don't get dizzy from all of the movement and shit like that. And when you feel that, you know, you developed your game knowledge enough that you understand, you know, like, what you should be doing in every round, what is a good, bad, and optimal execute play, etc., etc. And not only with Neon, like, generally, you know, like, on every map in Valorant and on every agent. So, I don't know what to tell you. Like, usually, when it comes to the agents such as Neon, when you pick that agent, you kind of know if that agent is for you or not in less than 50 hours, essentially. Like, it is one of these niche picks that, for which you really need to be a specific type of player to make it work in a long run. And also, what I feel about Neon is that I think it is mega stupid to play to main an agent such as Neon when there's already so many other better options. Like, compared to Neon, across every rank in Valorant, like, Jett is better. Omen is better. Raze is better. Valorant is better. Yoru is better. And there is a huge list of better agents, essentially. And if you already want to be a duelist main, I would always pick these 4 macarons right here and play with them and master them, because they will give you better results in a long run. Like much better results. You know, they are more versatile, more suitable for various different maps and situations, and they have deeper playbooks, deeper playstyles, deeper pussies, everything, like, essentially. Except Yoru. So, I mean, pussies part. Now, like, I just don't know why would you do that to yourself, you know? Especially because we did our coaching on Phoenix, so I don't know why did you give up on Phoenix for low elo. Is like really good agent. I'm not only low elo. Like, I don't want to all the way up to Immortal 2, Immortal 3. My Radiant, fuck it, like, you know, that depends on the map which you're playing after that, but whatever. So, I don't know about Neon. So, in my opinion, like, why I don't think it's worth maining Neon right now, after all of these nerfs and buffs, is because Neon kind of gives you diminishing returns. You know? With Neon you can develop also enormous amount of bad habits that are mega hard to correct later, as you're getting better as a player. You know, as you're getting to higher ranks. And if you already want to dabble into a duelist region, my recommendation would be any of these, you know, what is this, 5 agents. In just a moment. Even ISO is better. I would even play ISO over the Neon and Reyna. Like, it's your choice. You know, it's your time, your life. I'm just here to give you a suggestion that I think will work for 99% of players. Now, I assume that if I want to rank up this act, I need to find a main and use that for the next 1.5 months. Is Vyse fine? As I already mentioned, my problem with the Vyse right now is that she got gutted and really nerfed hard in the previous patch. And I just, you know, if I was playing below Immortal 1, I would always pick Cypher and Chamber over the Vyse in any team composition, on any map. Like, it is so much easier solo carrying the games with these 2 guys compared to this shit right now. Now, Vyse is not shit in terms of team play value, in terms of your defender side value as well. The problem is on attacker side, you literally have nothing. But literally nothing, except your aim. On defender side as well, it's easier to, you know, dodge the flash, destroy the flash, bait out the wall, like, it's so easier now to play, so much easier to play against the Vyse, even if you're a good Vyse player. So, I don't know. Like, I'm gonna do a Vyse VOD review for you because I wanna see, you know, how you play this agent, and, you know, we didn't do any Vyse VOD reviews for a long time, anyways. But also at the end of this VOD review, I'll give you a step-by-step guide. What should you actually do? Which agents you should main? What type of training you should do next? Everything. So yeah, now we can go into his tracker. Usually I do a tracker reviews at the end, but I want to see, you know, he came back into the game. So you started playing on this account when? He said episode 9. Episode
Surprise,
9.
Motherfucker.
Yo, Edge of VP, thank you for the Prime Gaming sub and thank you for scamming Jeff Bezos, brother. Chill Yellow, welcome to me, man. What if you play good with certain characters on certain maps? I wanna main Phoenix, but on maps like Split, I play much better with Vito than Phoenix. That's okay. You know, that's fine. Like, anyways, like, in Valorant, all the way up to Immortal 3, you should have, like, 2 main agents and 2 alternative flex picks. So, you know, you can play 4 different agents on different maps based on what works for you better. But, you know, the worst thing that you can do to yourself is something like this. Like, this should never happen to you. My dude. Male, you know, let's go from Phoenix, you know, from a static duelist, let's go on to the Omen, an aggressive controller hybrid duelist. Then let's go onto the Sage a bit, you know, to just, you know, rub our clitoris, like, while we are placing the wall in various different places, then Vyse. Why not? Like, you know, hyper-nerfed Sentinel. Then I want to be Initiator as well, like, because that's my playstyle. But no, that's not my playstyle. I want to be a Yoru main. And no, I don't want to be a Yoru main. I actually want to be a, once again, Initiator main, a Teho main. Fuck that shit. I want to play Chamber. And be a hybrid between a duelist. Don't do this. Like, stop, bro. You just came back to the game. You know? You're not playing for any professional team. You're not even close to Radiant. Relax a bit, you know, like let's stick to what is working for what was working for you previously when we did our coaching, and slowly let's expand the pool of your agents. Phoenix, for an example. Like, you're playing really well on the Phoenix. Really, really good. And in a long run, this Sage, like, if you only played Phoenix this act, you would probably already be Ascendant 1. I promise to you. Like, but you didn't develop any consistency on this agent, because then, you know, one game I do play Sage, Vyse, Omen, Sky, Yoru, everything. And also, like, I just don't know what you're doing here. Like, stick onto something, you know, come back to the game properly, master one specific role or one specific agent, and then develop yourself on other roles. And that's it. Like, as already mentioned, like, even though Sage is working for you right now, and it was working previously as well, like, Sage is not enough for you to develop other skill sets that you're missing in your gameplay. They can only be corrected by agents such as Phoenix, Omen, Chamber, Yoru, Jet, etc, etc. Like, a bit more aggressive characters. Because you play Sage like, you know, my dude is just planting that wall, healing the teammates, and that's it, basically, like. And even with Sage, I don't know how with Sage you have 70% KST. My brother has a heal and a revive and a slow orb that all of this gives you assist and support. Like, how do you have 70% KST on an agent such as Sage? And 69% on Omen. Your smokes and paranoia give you assists. You can artificially boost your team play, and it still sucks. Like, generally speaking, like, right now for you, also the agent doesn't seem like it's that big of an issue. It's more like some other parts of your gameplay. But personally, if I was in your shoes, you know, I came back to Valorant, like, he came back like when it was here, Act 5 and Act 6. Like, stick to what's working, brother. No, just stick to what's working, and then what gives you consistency, and what gives you, like, freedom to play how you should be playing the game. Look at this, like, Phoenix once again. My dude, domination on Phoenix. Dominatrix. Like, instead of searching for these other options that only God knows if they're gonna work for you, well, let's see what, you know, what, like, you can do better on this agent, and let's boost this win rate to 60%. Also, it is, I don't know how you have only 53% win rate with such a good KD and ADR. It really seems that, you know, as per usual, like, you struggle with better team play, and you have, like, basically, with these type of stats, like, how the fuck we have, like, only 70% KST? Like, you're dying alone way too many times, brother. Like, way too many times. Essentially, like, on average, in every single match, you have, like, 5 unnecessary deaths. Like, that can either be prevented, or that we can use in a better way. You know, to fight with our teammates. So that our teammates can fight with us. So that our teammates can use us and abuse us. You get the point. So, I don't know. Like, if I was you, like, I would have just stuck to the Phoenix. Maybe use the Omen as a secondary main, just to explore some aggressive options as well, and to learn the controller role and the timings a bit better and stuff like that, and that's it. throw all of this other shit to the trash can. Clutch percentage terrible as per usual. Like, we need to do something better in 1v1s and 1v2s. Like, you know, your situational awareness and win conditions, not good yet. We need to work on those scenarios. First deaths and first bloods, absolutely horrible. Horrendous. Like, it should be 2-to-1 ratio. That would be optimal. Then last deaths 204. That is also horrible. Like, you're trusting these imbeciles in Diamond, Ascendant, and Platinum to carry your games, instead of you controlling the outcome of your rounds. If you're below Ascendant 1, the ratio should be 1-to-4. How many matches you play, time that by 4, and that is how many times you should be last alive. So basically, on average, 4 times per match. Does that mean that you should beat the shit out of your teammates? Absolutely not. But if you end up in a 2v1, 3v2, 3v1 or some shit like that with your allies, you should always be the last alive during that round. Actually, you should let your teammates pick the first fight, and then you fight behind that ally. Actually, you take a fight together with that teammate. You don't bait him at all. Just he is the first contact. Why? Because when you're playing below Ascendant 1, only God knows if your teammates are gonna peek with you, swing with you, fight with you, and if they're actually gonna be capable of refragging you as well. Okay, I guess, like, attacker side, horrendous. Defender side, a bit better, but also kinda poor. I'm not gonna lie. So both attack and defense, this act is shaky hands. But I'm 99% positive that during this act, if you just if you're just like playing Phoenix and Omen, you will be ranking up much faster and improving much faster than whatever the fuck happened with these characters right here. But okay, you know, it's really up to you what you consider fun. But this is the worst thing that can happen to you. Like, look at this. Like, my dude, Vyse, Phoenix, Yoru, Chamber. 4 agents with a completely different playstyle, set of strategies, tactics, and executes. Brother, you're not Zekken. You're not Joe, brother. You're not like a professional player. No one is forcing you to learn every character in the game and every single role. Like, yes, you should develop a general knowledge on every single role and every single agent, but bro, like, you don't have time to master everything, and you should not try mastering everything, you know, all the way up to Radiant. Like, the best strategy in any competitive video game that you play, League of Legends, Valorant, with the heroes, Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, one-tricking is the best strategy. When I say one-tricking, you don't have to play one agent for the rest of your life, but you pick like 2 or 3 characters that work the best for you, that are versatile as well, and that suit your playstyle, and you just spam that shit all the way up to Challenger, One Above All, and Radiant. So, basically, you know, flexing is just such a poor way to rank up in most of the video games that you play. Like, yeah, imagine you play League of Legends. Like, what? One game my guy plays Evelynn jungle, second game Silas mid, third game support Nami, fourth game let's go on to Jinx. But bro, like, if you do that to yourself, you're not playing it to rank up at that. Like, if you're doing that in a video game, you need to remember, you're not playing to rank up at that point. you're playing for fun. So you cannot come to someone like, to some, you know, you cannot watch guides or shit like that and be like, you know, how am I not ranking? Like, you're playing for fun. And that is also fine. You should play for fun. But there is a fine line between having fun and actually ranking up. No, not actually fun, like there's a big fucking line. Like there, like a big distinction, you know, of what makes more sense and what should you do. So this is horrible, man. Like my guy, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you know, having consistency here is just impossible. Absolutely impossible. Okay, weapons. But yeah, we pretty much suck in every single round that is not a full buy round. We need to see what you're doing in pistols, semis, and ecos. Like, but to be honest, like these rounds, does this work here? Fuck no, it doesn't work. Never mind. But you know, these rounds here are far more important than full buy rounds most of the time. Like anyone can have a positive, you know, performance in full buy rounds. But how you perform in pistols, semis, and ecos that carries such a heavy value for mentality, economy, momentum, and all of the other shit. Weapon versatility, very like shaky hands as well. Like you should give some more love to you know, a variety of weapons if you want to have a faster and easier grind. Why the fuck is my pen now this big, bro? Like for an example, you know, out of these weapons, so for an example, I would give more love to Spectre, more love to Operator, Stinger, Outlaw, Judge, Shorty, Marshall, Bucky, everything essentially. Like I mean, the only two weapons that you use, like apparently, is just Vandal and Bulldog, and I don't know how that is even possible. Like how do you use a Bulldog so many times? To be honest, but okay, we'll see in your game L play. Okay, overall, when I take a look at your tracker, everything looks horrible. But let's now see why does it look horrible and what we can do better. That was like, I mean, you just came back to the game, so it is normal shit. One versus one versus every rank in Valorant. Konpeki. My dude, smurfing in skirmish now. I respect. Okay, we don't need this anymore. Let's see what we're doing on El Sunseto. Where are we starting? We're starting on the defender side. 51 minutes VOD. Bro, thank you so much. Like, I was not good in Valorant. I just aim trained 1 hour every day. But I just started watching your videos recently and I match MVP 2 games. Yes, sirski. Yes, sirski. Heavy Bulldog indicates too many deaths. Heavy Bulldog indicates that my gay... I don't know if he's gay. But my guy doesn't really understand versatility in Valorant. And when should he buy each weapon in the game. You're who? My gay, bro. My gay, man. My gay. Vyse is actually really good. Like, you can do a lot of different shit. And then, to be honest, like, it's not a bad... It's just that it's an underwhelming agent compared to some, you know, some other picks. Why did they remove this angle? Like, you know? Okay, so let's start with the attacker side of Sunset. Defender side. Sunset is a fast rotation map on a defender side. What does that mean? You value the team play over the map control. Your default site number 1 priority B site, your secondary priority A site. But you value the market and top mid control over the B site and A site. What does that mean? That means simply that, you know, whenever your enemies are pressuring your teammates here, or God forbid your teammates die, we need to fight for this shit. Also, on the defender side of Sunset, you should almost always make some kind of a move based on information that you have from the previous rounds and from the current round as well. Like, basically just anchoring the bomb sites is the most stupid shit you can do in ranked solo queue on this map. You know, you can maybe go for some fast lurks and flanks or fast rotations to support your teammates. It's really up to you. Next topic. You're never willing, and you should never die alone on the A site and B site. So we're trying to abuse some strategies, tactics, tight angles, off angles to maybe get a kill. And we're slowly scooting away into the market, into the city, into the A short, resetting ourselves and playing a retake with our teammates. Your job is just to get 1 or maybe 2 kills, stay alive, and play the retake with your allies. Or just play with your teammates when they come with, you know, when they come to help you out. Also, another mistake on Sunset is that in every single full buy round, in every single round after round number, I don't know, 2 or 3, you need to get the information whether or not enemies are here, here, or here. What do I mean by that? That simply means that your starting position on Sunset can never be something like this. Something like this. Something like this. We need to get the info. If there are any enemies in the B main, mid, A main, how many enemies are there, and what the hell should our teammates do, and what the hell you should do at that moment of time. So the bare minimum you should be doing on Sunset is jump spotting enemies in B main, or jiggle peeking them, holding the tiles and mid, or simply just closing off the doors. That's gonna give you the info if someone is mid, having a teammate on mid that is checking the tiles and top mid, here or here, and having a teammate, or you, obviously, holding this type of an angle to get an info whether or not enemies are going A. You cannot start all the way here, let the enemies walk into this position, and then they stomp you in a matter of seconds, and then you cry how your teammates are not there to help you out. It's not your teammates. You're just stupid. Also, on this map, whenever you don't plan to fight enemies on mid, close the market doors. Market doors should be closed 24/7. Now, where do you position and how you play depends on economy, which round you're playing, and of course depends on the enemy's pattern of pushing. In the first round, with a Mr. Vyse, actually Mrs. Vyse, Miss Vyse, I would advise you to play either a classic shorty or a ghost shorty strategy. Yes, without any fucking ability, because there is really no reason to do that. Now, I'm gonna give you a valid reason why you don't even need utility in the first round with Vyse. And the reason is very, very simple. Shorty is gonna give you higher chances of getting the kill if enemies are pushing the B site. Kill potential maximum in low elo lobbies. When teams see that enemies have a Vyse on the defender side, they will probably avoid the B site in the first round, and most of the times they will just do the A push. So chances that we're gonna play a retake of A site in the first round when you play Vyse is super high. But I would still gamble in the first round of Sunset with every agent on B site and market and try defending B site and market, because B site is at least 2 times harder for the retake than A site, especially if you end up in some kind of a disadvantage in the first round. So, with Vyse, like, you have, like, a lot of different options. You can go for classic pistol, light shield, wall, and razor vine. Is that I forgot the economy of this agent. Just a moment. Like, how much is the wall? Brother, I mean Vyse in January. I forgot everything. Restrictions. Shopping. 200. Yeah, okay. 150 razor vines. Okay, that's good. So you can go for that option, you know, which is a standard shit for most of the Vyse players. But, I don't know, when you're playing in low elo, it is just so easy getting the kills, like, with a shorty. For an example, I'm gonna give you a few examples and few strats that you can try doing. You can pick any strategy that you prefer. You know? Whatever you wanna do. So yeah, you can play some default shit, like basically, you can use a wall here like this. You can basically, like, you know, start by closing the market doors. You can use a flash somewhere here, and, you know, you or your teammates close the market doors, jump spot the enemies here. If the enemies are coming, place the razor vines. We can jiggle peek the enemies a bit, ba 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 ba. Enemies are moving in, ba 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 ba. You play here, you open the razor vines, flash the enemies, and now, you know, we can try to kill that one enemy, reset ourselves, reset the flash, and that's it. Option number 2. You can play similar strategy, just without the light shield, and fully gamble that enemies are gonna go B. So, you can drop a shorty right here, get a shorty, wall, and all of the razor vines. So basically shorty and utility. Instead of placing this wall, you place a wall right here, like this. And essentially, we start the round by closing the market doors. Actually, tell your teammates to close the market doors. You put your flash basically here, you know, or here, behind the boxy box. We jump spot the enemies in B main. Enemies are pushing onto the B site. We go onto this position, try to bub up, you know, try to bait the enemies a bit. While you're baiting the, you know, while you're repositioning, you're always dropping your razor vines to delay and stop the enemies push a bit. Then, enemies are coming in. You open the razor vines, get a shorty, wall activates, you flash the enemy, bop, free kill, pick up his ghost or whatever the fuck he has. And now, with a second razor vine, we can play the retake with our teammates. You know, we can scoot into the enemy smoke here with a kill and 5v4 numbers advantage and 1 razor vine for the retake. We can use this razor vine, you know, like to slow down the enemies here as we're taking space, or to prevent the enemies from peeking some of these positions and to make them stuck. Option number 3, 4, whatever, like shorty here, ghost without the razor vines, flash here like this, bait the enemies, bop, go back, bait the enemies from here, I mean, when I say bait the enemies, like, try maybe to kill one enemy, you know, like, these are pretty safe angles, and pretty tight angles. Enemies are coming in, flash this motherfucker that is close to you, the jet that is dashing in or whatever, take a kill, switch to the ghost, and once again you can scoot into the CT smoke. Those are some options that you can do, you know, but what is very important with Vyse, you know, what can you notice in all of these setups that I'm showing right now? What is important is that you're not wasting your mother effing razor vines. Like, you can never start a round unless you don't want to play on that site, but you can never start a round but like this. If you don't know that enemies are gonna go B. It is just a waste of 300 credits and 2 very powerful abilities. Like, it is just mega stupid. It's okay, you know, like, if you think enemies are gonna split market and B, but you're not playing market, it's okay to put one Razor Vine there, if you're already not gonna be there, defending that area of the map, so that you can support your teammates. It's okay to do a whole setup on the B side, if you're not gonna play B side yourself. If you're gonna play maybe top mid or A instead. And then you can support your teammates, you know, with that setup. But if you're starting on A or B, jump spot the enemies, get the info, and then, you know, as you're repositioning, drop the thorns wherever you want, you know, like, depends on the enemy's execute, like, where should you do them, and what type of agents they have. And that's it, especially in the first round. I mean, in the first round, if you buy, like, what did he get? So he's playing B side, but that's first round you always play market and B. You're always defending that area of the map. And you should always, like, close the market doors and, you know, play on the B side. So he bought, yeah, like for example, this is a mega giga mistake. Mega giga mistake. So, basically, like, you know, what if the enemies don't go right now onto the B side? What if they go A? You just wasted the Razor Vines for literally nothing. And those Razor Vines can be very useful for retakes. You know, to deny some of the peaks from the enemies, to make the enemies stuck a bit. Like, I don't know, I'm going for a retake here. I can do this. Now the enemies cannot peek me from that angle while I'm retaking the A side. Maybe I can do, you know, this. Even if the enemies destroy these thorns, I'm gonna know that an enemy is backside. I'm gonna know that one enemy is A short and I should be ready for that mother cooker. So yeah, don't waste Razor Vines like this. Also the wall. Now, why is this wall here better than the one that you're doing? Or we can do it like this, from this angle. Very simple. Like, if my Omen gives me a smoke here, and let's say the wall is deep like this, enemies trigger the wall, like they can still play in that smoke, you know, and just sit here, and I need to guess, like, where the fuck are the enemies here. Also, it's easier for the enemies to, you know, jump spot the wall. Like, they can, you know, if they walk into the smoke, they can just bep, and that's it. But if the wall is here, especially low elo players, you know, they are kind of deaf a bit, and they don't have a really good awareness, so maybe they're gonna run it down. Like, you know, God knows, like, what happens in this. I mean, I know what happens. Like, it's just stupid what people do in lower elo lobbies. Bad habit of pre-placing every utility on site instantly to be ready. Suffer made me sure I can pick up everything back. Yep. My favorite IRL One Punch Man. Okay, bro. Okay. Thank you. Okay, bro, you say we should only play 3 games a day, but when I lost 2 and win 1, I feel like playing 2 more and also have time to play 9 games a day or even more. You know what you should not do in real life? You should definitely not gamble. Like, that is some habit that you should really try to avoid. Considering what type of mentality you have, like, in video games. Like, gambling is really bad for you. That's all I can say. Also, this Razor Vine placement is a bit bad as well. I mean, you always want to put your Razor Vine a bit away from the choke points, where they are still catching the choke point, but enemies cannot see the Razor Vine, you know, while they're executing a sight. Like, basically, if I have a wall here, I cannot put a Razor Vine here. Like, they're gonna hear and see Razor Vine already from this angle and destroy it. Like, usually on B side, like, you know, if you have one Razor Vine, you kind of put it like somewhere around this area, so that if enemies, like, or this, it doesn't really matter. Like, basically, if you put it a bit more left or right, like, but you know, this is good for an example. Like, enemies need to scale into this shit angle and get stuck there. a bit more to the right, like this. But enemies cannot scale into this corner and take the cover. This is also, you know, this setup where you cover both of these positions, here and here, is also pretty decent. But, you know, if I have this wall, I cannot put a razor vine here. It's just stupid. I always see people recommend some kind of a setups for every agent on every map. Do pros also play like that, or at some point the creativity comes in and it's no longer just learned setups and you can actually play without preparation? Yeah, basically. So listen, when you're trying to get better on some agent, such as, you know, I don't know, Omen, let's say for an example. Like, I'm taking Omen as an example because he is the ultimate creativity of Valorant, you know, and Yoru as well. Like, first, the thing that you want to learn on an agent such as Omen are the plays that have the highest chances of working. You know, first you learn the, you know, all of the default plays that you should be doing on every map. Then you learn all of the good, you know, aggressive plays or secondary plays that you can do on this agent. And then you dabble into a creativity zone where you're trying to experiment a bit and be a bit more situational. But basically, if you don't learn what is good, bad, and optimal, default play, aggressive play, and a passive play, it's going to be really hard for you to enable your creativity in general, because you want to understand, like, which parts of being creative actually make sense. You know, how far your creativity should go with that character. Marvel or DC? DC. Also, listen, like, in the first round, I would always, you know, if I'm starting on B, I would always place some kind of flash for the B main area of the map and for the push on B. I don't know, if you're starting in the market, you can maybe just, you know, basically here, you have a sky on site and the full setup on B. Now, the flash that I personally love the most on the B side is actually a flash right here. Why? Because even if the enemies are stuck here, stuck in this corner as well, stuck in this corner as well, enemies are going to be blinded in one way or another. So yeah, it's really, you know, one suggestion. Also, what we didn't talk about are the team compositions. Like, basically, your team comp on defender side really doesn't have a single big weakness, but on attacker side, it's gonna be very painful executing the bomb sites and pushing in, because we don't have a single dive duelist. But thankfully, enemies also don't have any strong sentinels, so, you know, my priority should definitely be the A site against the enemy team composition. When it comes to the enemy's team composition, like, we can abuse in this match on a defender side, like, you know, maybe flanking and lurking in some of the rounds. Because it's a very, you know, claustrophobic map, the Sunset. It's a very, you know, tight map in Valorant. And the flanks and lurks don't take that much time. So when you're like 100% certain that, I don't know, you start on B, and you're 100% certain that enemies are going either A or mid, you can maybe try to backstab them in some of the, you know, eco rounds, hull by rounds, or rounds where you're already in some kind of a disadvantage. Also, Vyse is a really good counter for this type of a team composition. I mean, against the Neon, you are a menace. Menace, brother. And as I already mentioned, like, I would definitely use some kind of a classic shorty, go shorty strategy in this first round on the B side. Because your kill potential with Vyse and the Vyse wall and the Vyse flash at the backside of B is gigantic. Ginormous. BBC, BVC, and all of the other stuff. So, I don't know. Like, I feel that you're just... Like, you need to be more creative in the first round. You need to, like, create some kind of a kill potential, some kill areas, kill zones, and stuff like that. You cannot just play them in a default way. And you should never do that. Like, enemy Neon is running you down. You have a wall here. Just, you know. When the wall activates, bop. Kill that motherfucker and you're good for a kill. Should I worry about IGLing in low elo? This is the rule that you should apply in every elo. You should always try to macro-manage your teammates on the attacker side and tell them where to go and what to do based on what makes more sense, based on information and the map that you're playing and team comps. You should always tell your teammates what you see, what you're doing, and what you want to do. Like, when it comes to some micromanagement, like, you tell your teammates what to do only when they're doing something mega wrong, mega bad. On the attacker side, you should always tell your controller to smoke something for you and give you some, you know, proper utility. And that's kind of it. You don't need to IGL too much. You don't need to be a you know, you don't need to... Basically, you don't need to spend more than 2 sentences per round. Actually, say more than 2 sentences. Now, what I also didn't say for the... What I also didn't say for Defender side of Sunset is the first 4 rounds, you can play a bit more passively. You know, some passive playstyle where you're just fighting for information and that's it. But from the round number 5, you need to decide if that is working or not. You know, if enemies are always getting the bomb site control, planting the spike, your retakes are shit, it is time to fight for the A main, B main, or mid, depending where you think enemies will go next. I genuinely don't know, like, how did you have a chance to activate the Razor Vines there? Like, that shit is so audible and so easy to break there. I just don't know how. I guess Diamond players in Asia are not Diamond players from Europe. Now I also need to ask, like, what are you doing here? Okay, so listen. Basically, you close the market doors. You heard pushing enemies. Enemies are pushing B. The first thing that you're trying to do is get into this position. So that is the only position from which we can support and compensate every mistake of this maniac if he decides to fight. And a position from which we can abuse are wall, razor vine, and flash setup. So enemies start moving in, activate the wall, do the flash, 3 kills for you. And we can also fight with the sky. Next topic. Like, wall got activated. You activated the razor vines. We should be ready for this duel. And you should have activated your flash before you went for this peek. The kill here. Very nice. Molto bene. But after this kill, where are you going? Like, I have no idea if enemies are gonna move in. We have, you know, only Sky as a support. We're 5v4. Where are you going right now? Why are you greeting for this gun? And why are you going into that angle? Relax. You know? Just go at the backside. Play a refrag game with your Sky. Your job is done. Amazing. We delayed and stopped the enemy's push a bit. We got a kill. What else do you need for a first round? Nothing. Like, getting behind this wall was mega dangerous. Behind the smoke. This repositioning, not good. Also, I mean, you know, you should have gotten this, you know, sheriff from the neon and just get at the backside. Now we can just go for, you know, 8 body shots and like kill, you know, majority of the enemy team. What's the problem? Smokes from your Omen are horrible. Like, they are so bad. Like, we need to tell this Omen, brother, can we make a bit more precise smokes? You always need to remember in Valorant, precision is always more important than speed. Speed is gonna come with time as you play the game, as you grind, as you are becoming better. But brother, a bad smoke can cost you a lot. A bad utility can cost you the whole round. Imprecise utility as well. Like, it is so, like, the smokes have so many gaps. Like, I don't know, it's better to not have these type of smokes at the end of the day. Not the aura again, bro. Not the aura again. I pushed through that split VOD review last stream. I don't think I can do it again. I don't think I can listen to this shit. Now, my friendo, you see your Omen is ready to move into the smoke. We are pushing with the Omen. That's it. Like, I don't what other play you want to do right now? But also, I need to tell you something. Let me tell you something, chat. Like, you don't have to follow every mentally disabled play that your teammates do, depending on your win conditions and depending on the numbers and economy. Now here in this 5v3, if my Omen wants to push this, okay, I'm gonna let him die. You know? And I'm gonna bait the shit out of him. Because when the Omen dies, chances are pretty low that enemies are gonna expect me instead of this corner right here. Plus, we still have a flash on the left side to fuck them up. The only problem of this angle is they still have a Sova arrow and maybe a drone and a Reyna flash. And this is like the main reason why I would never be stuck in this corner with an agent such as Vyse. Now, you know, based on the body posture of our Skye, we can see that Skye is taking the fight, which is literally on our screen. 2 of our teammates are pinching the enemies from behind, and now we need to make a move. Now we need to fight. Like, whatever this Skye wanna do, now we have to fight with this guy, because we lost the numbers, and we cannot afford 2 of our teammates dying from the back. You need to be ready for this. We need to be ready for that duel, bro. So what I say, you need to be ready. Like, instead of you aiming like this, you should be pre-aiming inside of the wall, getting ready to clear this angle and to fight on the right side as well.
One enemy remaining.
I don't, like, can we... Listen, disable the number 3. You know, put your knife onto something else. Put your knife onto 6, 7. Fuck! I meant 8, actually 8, 9 is too far away, like 5. Or H. Or V. Something else. Why did you pull out the knife here? You literally know that the whole enemy team is stuck in the B-main. Right now you should be clearing the angles, getting ready mentally and physically for this fight.
One enemy remaining.
Okay. So, chat, whoever said they're gonna win the first round, just won the prediction. Yes, Sirski. Let's do a prediction for another round. Just a second, today we're gonna do a lot of predictions. Prediction. You're not gonna be able to cheat, I'm gonna make it a cheat bulletproof right now. Cheat proof. Just a second. So, let's make a prediction Okay. You have only 30 seconds, so be ready. Be ready so that you cannot cheat. You don't know what type of prediction I'm making. Only 30 seconds. Bam! Okay. Now, hear me out. So, you win the first round of Sunset. What do you do in a second round? In second round, no matter if you win or lose the first round, you once again start on B and market. Basically, in a second round, you know, if you win the first round, most of the times what you should do is the following. Get the Outlaw, get the best possible shield that you can get a wall, and that's it. We have a Sheriff from the first round, we have the Outlaw, the ultimate one-tap weapon. We do a wall for the B-main. We can use a flash for the B-main as well. And in this round, if you're playing in the market with the Outlaw or Marshal, you should not close the doors. You want to take these fights and just one-tap the enemies and fuck them up. Yes, it's okay even if you go with a Marshal, Heavy Shield, and Utility, especially if you have a Sheriff from the first round. You can also go for a Stinger, Heavy Shield, and Utility. You can go for the Spectre, Heavy Shield, and Utility. You can go for the Bulldog, Heavy Shield, and Utility as well. The choice is absolutely yours. But also, you know, this choice, what you should buy in a second round, depends what type of pistol you save from the first round. If you already save a Sheriff from the first round, it's 10 times more logical to get either some kind of a Sniper in a second round, Stinger, or Spectre. Like, it really doesn't make sense getting a Bulldog or a Guardian. And Judge, I mean, you're playing Vyse, so, and playing the B set in a second round, I just don't know if enemies are gonna go A, B, or mid, or what they're gonna do. It's too much of a gamble, too much of a risk for this second round. And of course, like, the only times when you should be fighting enemies from market in this second round is if you have a Bulldog, Guardian, Outlaw, or Marshal. Otherwise, if you have a Stinger, Spectre, or something like that, close the doors and just focus on the B-main execute. Now, so in this round, I will just place a wall here, a default wall. I will place this flash, and I will not use a single Razor Vine. Based on my playstyle, I will go for Outlaw, Light Shield, Wall, and Sheriff, and the rest of the money goes into, you know, Razor Vines. I will hold this angle, occasionally peek the tiles, and just punish the enemies that go through mid. In this second round, I will never start on top mid. That is something that I would always avoid, because top mid area of the map usually gets smoked off. You know, most of the teams are gonna smoke it. And market, I've never seen anyone smoking the market in the last 1,000 games that I played on Sunset and that I coached players on. Change the wall a bit. Marshal! Okay, brother. But what the fuck is going on? Yo, he lost the Sheriff. My bad, my bad. So he died, so listen here. Right now, you can go for a Bulldog and Heavy Shield and a wall. But hear me out. What the fuck is this buy option? What the fuck is this, brother? For a second anti-eco round. Second anti-eco round is a full force buy round. Unless you want to get Operator in the round number 4. Right now, you want to play with Marshal. I have nothing against it. It's okay. But you buy the Marshal, you buy the Shorty, you buy the Heavy Shield, and all of your abilities. You need to win this round. You're gonna gamble this round only with a wall, a fucking Light Shield, and a Marshal. For what? If you don't get the Operator in the round number 4, I'll do something to you. Like, I don't know. It's just stupid. Really, really stupid. but listen, like razor vines are pretty easy to destroy. Like when you're repositioning like this, you should drop your razor vines there, you know, so they become instantly invisible and we can actually activate them. You should not be throwing the razor vines into the enemy's face, because it's, you know, it's very easy to destroy them, you know. Don't do that to yourself. Also here, if you're holding this angle with a marshal, like, you can jiggle peek it as well and use that dead zone mechanic to kill the enemies. Instead of holding it, you can wait for the enemies to maybe jump spot it and pass it a bit, and then bam, one kill, then bam, second kill. But during this repositioning from this angle to this angle, we're throwing one razor vine here, but also you don't need to risk it so much with the Vyse. You can instantly just go onto this position, bam, one more kill. Now enemies are moving in, a razor vine, wall, bam, bam, one more kill. Repositioning to market. How they didn't destroy it, bro? This is diamond, man. This is like diamond 1. Always, I would actually recommend you to always pre-place your flash. If you're already gonna play, you know, passively from the site and stuff like that. Like, prepare your flash based on the angles where you anticipate to fight the enemies. You know, if you're anticipating to fight enemies here, here, and here, use this flash. If you're anticipating to fight enemies at the backside, use this flash for this position. Or we can use this flash for the left angles, essentially. Or you can just use a high up flash and then, you know, when the enemies are coming in, just obliterate them. She wanted to jump spot the wall, bro. How is this diamond, bro? Which region is this? This is Asia. Somewhere in Asia. What is this server, bro? Like, let me play here, please. You're giving too much props to diamond? You're actually right. You're actually right, like, to be honest, like, diamond players are shit. My bad, I just forgot we were playing Valorant. Can you use the Omen TP trick to jump spot the wall? Yes. You can. Good rotation here. Like, basically, you know, most of the times, when you stop or delay the enemy's push onto some site, you should expect that natural reaction from most teams is gonna be, fuck this shit, I'm out, and they will basically go for, you know, they'll try to do something else. Like, they'll try to regain the control on mid, aim in, or do something else. Especially when you have teammates that go for the flanks and lurks. If they're playing alone, and you already have 3 teammates on site, and enemies are stuck in the B-main area of the map, good decision to support that Sova and to rotate towards that Madre Cookier. When are you going to play? Maybe after the VOD review I'm gonna play a few games. Holy trigger discipline, huh? Groovy got that trigger disciplinary. This is... Groovy, brother! Groovy destroying them with a Spicta. Also, same as with any other Sentinel. If you're leaving the site that you're playing at that moment of time, and if your utility is not going to be useful anymore for you or for your teammates, reset it. Like, you should always pick up the Vyse flash with yourself. Period. Especially the Vyse flash. Period. Okay, round number 3. This type of shit I never want to see ever again from you. Like, if you want to play A this round, it's okay. You can play as the Razor Vines. But let's read the enemies a bit. Like, listen, Like, the first thing that I teach players in my private coaching, and the first thing I tell them to do is the following. Like, basically, I tell them that I don't want to see any fuckeries when it comes to positioning on a defender's side. There is like around 20, 30 different rules, sub-tips, solutions that we apply to read enemies in different games. But there's only 7 things that every single player should focus on. You need to be right on a defender's side at least 8 out of 10 times where the enemies are gonna go next. And that is achievable in ranked solo queue because players are... I don't know, just ranked players have some... I guess you can call it a ranked mentality, you know, or general mentality, and then people develop like some patterns that are so easy to read and so easy to predict, which is absolutely stupid, obviously. So, number 1, you position yourself on a defender's side based on the map that you're playing. So, based on which map we play, we have our default bomb sites, primary objectives, and stuff like that. That is something that we use in the first few rounds to decide, you know, first, second round mostly, where to play. Second thing, economy. Economy tells you a lot. You know, what enemies are probably gonna do and where they're gonna go. Third thing that we use to read the enemies is the usual enemy patterns in that specific match. This is something that you can use like later on, after the round number 6 or 7, to decide where to play if enemies are not following any other rule. You know, if your teammates are consistently losing the A site or they really struggle there, fuck it, you know, play the rest of the match on A and just don't, you know, losing the same site 9 rounds in a row is the worst thing that you can do. Rule number 4. AB rule. Like, most of the teams in ranked solo queue will just every round try to do something different. They think they're unpredictable, but in reality they are more predictable. So, they'll one round, 5-man push B, 5-man push A, 5-man push mid, split A, split mid, like, just expect the opposite when you see that this pattern develops. Number 5, rule of fear, obviously. Like, basically, players in ranked solo queue are very afraid to repeat their mistakes from the previous rounds, so chances are much higher that in the next round they will do something different. And number 6, rule of 3 executes. And this rule of 3 executes is mega powerful, especially in the ranks in between Gold 1 and Immortal 2. Chances that an average 5-man squad in ranked solo queue is gonna do the same shit 3 rounds in a row is below 20% in ranked solo queue. So if enemies try the B push 2 rounds in a row, chances that they're gonna go A, especially once they lose those 2 rounds completely, below 5%, maybe 1% in ranked solo queue. So in this round, we play on A site. I don't care if you play Jesus Christ as an agent. You know? You should be playing A this round. And even better, you're playing Vyse. You know? We can stop the enemy's push, we can fuck them up, we can do a lot of different stuff. Now, in the first 2 rounds of Sunset, you always gamble on B site and market. Like, we need to defend the B site and market. But how you position in other rounds depends on other factors and other information that we gather during that match. So in this round, fuck the setup on A, which will play with a Marshall, Heavy Shield, Shorty, and Utility on the A side. Fuck the setup on B. That's what I meant. And now what we can create. For an example, we can create a kill zone in the elbow. For an example. Now we can just put a wall somewhere here. We can put a flash. I forgot to put. Let me just pick it up. This is gonna be very annoying for this VOD review. We can put a flash. Maybe for the elbow as well. Like somewhere all the way high up here. Put one razor vine if you hear the enemies going A for the A short. And try to fuck up the enemies here with a shorty. For an example. We can start the round with a Marshall holding this angle. Bam, try to one-tap an enemy. Bam, try to one-tap an enemy. Do a razor vine for A short, so you're not getting fucked from the A short. Wait for the enemies. Enemy neon. You hear the enemy neon activating the wall. Kill the neon. Now we can try to reposition towards the city. Of course, timing for all of this is very important, but through repetition and through developing this type of a mindset, like, you can get so many easy kills in Valorant. Especially in these type of bonus rounds. But this round, playing on B set and market, suicide. When I say suicide, like, I just don't know what your teammates are gonna do on the opposite part of the map. And this shit, I never wanted this. It literally doesn't matter on which side you're playing. Like, you drop utility when you hear the enemies, when you know that they're pushing the site. I cannot start this round by, you know, dropping one razor vine here, one razor vine here. And I'm wrong with my read, and now I'm playing retake with a Marshall and a Flash. Imagine having two razor vines for the B retake. You know, I can maybe deny the enemy's peek there, as we're going through this area of the map to clear this and to clear these angles safely. Then maybe with a second razor vine, I can deny the enemy's peek on the site here, or at least reveal them. At the bare minimum, enemies are gonna shoot it, reveal their position, and I'm gonna know where I should expect the enemies at that moment of time. Yeah. Look at the minimap. Look at the minimap. And just imagine if we did the setup that we did right now. Also, you know, like, I never watched this VOD in my life. Like, you will see that in every Sunset VOD review, I'm basically repeating myself for the last 2 years, like, essentially. Just imagine if he did the setup that we just talked about. So maybe here we can, you know, shoot one body shot onto the neon, then fall back towards the elbow, then neon activates the wall, and now we fuck up the neon with the shorty, wall, and flash. And we save our Sova. Sova lives a happy life. We have a razor vines for A short. Enemy execute on A, fully cucked. And they also lost their most valuable duelist, which is the neon. Jesus Christimus, man. But instead of that, the round is practically over. Especially as a sentinel on a defender side. You need to be very mobile. Enemies should never know where you play, how you play. You should be trying to counter the enemies 24/7. And especially if enemies are undisciplined and they just love to push. I got Aloy's flashbacks, man, from the fucking Mundo. How Omen didn't see the Reyna is... I mean, listen. Regardless if the Omen saw the Reyna or not, you need to... When you're going for these type of lurks, flanks behind the enemies, you need to slow down a bit, and you need to clear every single angle as if the enemies will be there and are there. Like, if I'm pushing through this area of the map, if my teammate wants to push fast, okay, we can push fast, but I'm clearing every single angle as if an enemy is there at that moment of time. That position, this position, these angles, like every angle on which we don't have the info about the enemies, I need to clear it and be ready for a fight there. Listen, when you're fighting enemies with a marshal, they have the full shield or light shield. The main thing that you should abuse is the fire rate of this weapon and the precision. Like basically, when you take this type of fight with the enemies, where you have the cover, what is the easiest way to kill this Reyna? Bop, bop. If you hit the correct dead zone 2 times in a row, and you just hit the Reyna body 2 times in a row like this, she's dead. In this close range fight. You don't even need to go for a scope, because this hip fire for some reason is way too accurate for body shots. Like, your chances of missing a body of the Reyna here is, I would say, below like 20%. Instead of that, like, what you did is you fully expose yourself. You need to rely on hitting one headshot to kill this Reyna, and not only that, you're fighting Reyna with a flash. Now, how you position yourself during the fights also depends, like, you know, what type of agent you're fighting. If I'm fighting Reyna, Yoru, Phoenix, like, I need to always fight around some corners, angles, like, we need to dodge that flash. Especially with semi-automatic weapons such as like, Marshall. Like, this is probably the easiest shooting gunplay technique to abuse in Valorant. Bop, bop. Let's go. That's it. Yo, Mizzy! Dang, it's been a couple of years since I last watched any Valorant content. I hope you're doing well. I'm doing well, like, and I'm still with Valorant. Imagine that. I like to purchase your shirt, but I'm speaking... Salmil, as long as you understand me, we're fine. I don't have to understand you at all to coach you. Like, you need to understand me.
Players.
Okay, so in the last round, enemies went A. So 2 rounds in a row, they went B. Next round, they went A. So in this 4th round, once again, we need to start around the market and do a gamble. You know, we need to play fast rotations towards mid, A, and we need to play on B. It's our default site anyways. So in this round, you know, the first full buy round, Vandal, Phantom, Heavy Shield Utility with a shorty. We can just use a default setup for this round. Now we can use a wall there, this type of a flash, and let's see how the first full buy round is gonna go for us. Close the market doors. If enemies are pushing B, okay, we can instantly prepare just our default setup with 1 turn. And that's it. Wait and see what's gonna happen. Also, please, for the love of God, can you tell your controllers to give you one-way smokes here? Like, I don't know why the hell are we getting a default smoke here? Like, so many times we heard the enemies push the B. You know, enemies are immediately running. Just tell your Omen, like, if you hear the enemies running, please give me a one-way smoke. So that I can separate maybe the Neon from the rest of the enemy team. Kill the Neon, and then the rest of the enemies are stuck. Most of the time. So, A-short as well. Like, if enemies didn't pass into this angle, well, one-way smoke. You know? And in this 4th round, yes, we can still play passively. We're winning 2-1. We only lost 1 round. Enemies executes are pretty shit, if I can say. We can still play a bit more passively before we go into the aggro mode. Aggro mode. Operator! My dude! My G, man! Actually, chat. Okay, I can respect this one. I can respect it. There's only one problem. That problem is you're playing Vyse. That's the first problem, which is not really a problem. It's okay. You can get the operator in the round number 4 with Vyse. The problem is Neon. You know, like, depending on what type of team comps enemies have, depends also what type of gun I'm gonna use and on which agent. Like, because of Neon, I don't think I would play the operator this early on. And now she might be sliding into my anal cavity with a judge. with a Bucky. I don't know how she's gonna scale up and path anymore. So that's the only problem here. But overall, I have no problems with you getting the op.
Now we wait.
Is getting diamond on 30 FPS impressive? Getting diamond with a blindfold is impressive. Try that next time. What the fuck is going on, bro? Why did we go from operator to outlaw? I mean, listen. Please, chat. Stop recording in the fucking replay system. I don't like when I can see the enemies on the minimap. That's the first thing. And I'm never gonna hindsight anyways. Like, I'm always gonna tell you, like, what I would do based on what I would do. Like, what you should do, essentially. And also, I don't see the tab. I don't see the economy. Like, I don't know what's happening. So, getting the outlaw here would only be good if 3 or more enemies don't have money for the heavy shield. Like, they have, like, below 3,800 credits. And chances are pretty high they're gonna get a Vandal or Phantom with a light shield. But if that is not the case, getting the outlaw here, I don't know about that one, Chief. Also, if you get the outlaw, combine it with some other weapon as well. Get a shorty, get a ghost, or get a sheriff. You know, don't only play outlaw.
I need a weapon. Thanks.
And I know that some people cannot record their gameplay because of FPS and lags and stuff like that. I'm just saying that I personally don't like replay system at all. It is just shit, you know? Like, when I do a VOD review, then you can compare my tips to what actually happened in your games, and you can see how many times I was correct, I was right, and stuff like that. And it's gonna be minimum 60%. Listen, we talked about this. Like, if your teammates are getting pressured, mid, market, top mid, fuck the B-main. Instant reset, we need to focus on market, mid, and top mid. Anyways, you're playing Vyse. We have your wall. We have the full information if enemies are crossing the B-main area of the map. That's it. Right now, fast rotation. Team play over the map control. Also, what I don't like here is you're not playing Chamber, you're not playing Phoenix, you're not playing Yoru, any agent that can escape this area of the map in any way. Like, with the Vyse, you cannot really play alone this aggressively in the B-main area of the map. You know, for example, when you play Vyse on a defender's side, if you don't use your flash, razor vines, and wall to put enemies in some kind of a disadvantage, why the fuck are you even playing the Vyse at that point? This type of a setup you can maybe make as a double, triple bait setup with some of your teammates, but playing alone here with Vyse against the Sova, I mean, against any team composition, maybe in some eco rounds or halberd rounds where you need to, you know, pull the round out of your ass and somehow surprise the enemies. But here, like, this is a suicide. And we should be helping our teammates in market! Whew. Okay, maybe they did have a light shield, after all. One thing that is really scary in your gameplay is how you take the fights with the enemies, you know, how much you're overexposed and like, it's mechanics are not there, definitely, like, and we need to get onto some good aim training. And after this, because I already coached you once and you stopped playing the game after you got Diamond 1, I'm gonna make a new aim training for you for free, essentially. Like, not only aim, the whole mechanical training. Like, you'll get new Kovacs and Aimlabs playlists, like, and we're gonna focus on your problems with something else. Because this is very poor, you know, like, mechanically, you really fell off a lot. I mean, you didn't fall off, like, just, we need to get better than this. For example, here, Like, I cannot take this type of a fight with the outlaw against multiple enemies in the way that you did. You already know that, you know, there's kind of nobody in the beam area of the map. We got the info here. If I want to fight enemies that are going through market right now, I need to play around this angle. And do this. And then try to reset in the beam in while reloading these 2 bullets. Like, even if you just missed 1 bullet, or if these 2 enemies maybe had a heavy shield, you would have been dead being this overexposed. But anyways, like, as soon as you heard enemies going mid, and you saw nobody in the beam in, you should have taken your knife out and tried to protect your teammates in the market. You know? Like, using this type of a flash, getting ready to play with your Omen, supporting the Omen. Maybe, you know, while the Omen was stuck here, and Sky was here, drop the Razor Vines, deny the enemy's push, then we can go for maybe 1 surprise peek with the Outlaw, play some reflex setup with the Omen, and that's it. Very good that you didn't go back into the beam area of the map, because we have no idea where are the enemies actually. Very good that you re-cleared the market as well, it's okay. We had to do it. But now, what should we do? Full-on passive gameplay. We should connect with our Reyna, with our Sova. Beam-in is fully clear. We should re-clear the market, regain the mid control, regroup our teammates to play together, and we win this round as long as we play together. And also pick up the Vandal. No, the aura, bro, they have 2 auras, man. They have 2 auras! I cannot listen to this shit, bro. We're jiggling the weapons. Okay, we heard 1 guy in the beam in. We still have a wall for the beam in, so that's not a problem. Personally, if I heard 1 footstep towards the beam in right now, I would definitely place, you know, this Razor Vine as a precaution. You know, wasting 1 there is fine. Anyways, we're gonna have a second one for the retake on A, if they go A. And your job right now is just, you know, holding the market. Personally, I wouldn't hold it with Outlaw. I mean, it really depends. It really depends, like, I just don't know what is the economy in this round. If enemies didn't have that much of an econ for this round, and all of the enemies are playing with the Scuffed By, sure, I mean, you can continue playing with the Outlaw and just go for 1-tips. And throughout this whole duration of this round, you should just be holding mid and market. We have no idea where is the Sage. We know that she's AFK, but he doesn't know that. And just hold the market. You have the wall for the beam-in. Why are you even watching the beam-in right now? Okay, they're gonna go A. We're gonna get the info for that. Now, for this retake, we should pick up the Vandal. We should reset the Flashy Flash. Flashy Flash. And play the retake with 2 of our teammates through the CT. Simple as that. Flashy Flash! Flashy Flash, bro! But why are you leaving there, bro? Planted. I mean, it doesn't give the info anymore, but it's still a Flashy Flash. We can bait out the enemy shots. Crosshair placement, like, maybe flash them.
1 enemy remaining.
You didn't really have to do this deep of a clear. You know? Like, for example, what you can also do with Vyse, if you need to speed up the retakes a bit and stuff like that. You know, we can go here. Like, how would I go through this top mid area of the map if I don't know where are all of the enemies? I will clear all of these angles. From this position, I will check the tiles and mid. I will drop a Razor Vines here. So the enemy, you know, if an enemy wants to lurk, he cannot fuck me up through here while I'm clearing the A short. Aha, there is a wall. Okay, fuck it, I'm gonna leave the wall there. Why? Enemies just cock block themselves with that wall. I'm just gonna play with 2 of my teammates through CT and try to win this round in a, you know, on a raw refresh potential. Okay, Okay, now we know that Sova is in the elbow. Now imagine if you had a Fleshy Flesh and Razor Vines. Yeah, we have Razor Vines though. But Fleshy Flesh right now would be really fucking useful. I'm not gonna lie. You know, we know that Spike is planted default. We picked up the Fleshy Flesh and we put a Fleshy Flesh above the Reyna right there. All we need to do right now is hold the Sova in the elbow, and as soon as Sova peeks wide, like this, we use a Fleshy Flesh, kill the Sova, round is over. But also right now, because, you know, we don't have a Fleshy Flesh, I would just do this. I don't even need to fight that Sova. Like, all we need to do is just, with one Razor Vine, deny him, so he has to do this. And when he's there, a round is over. But the worst thing that we can do right now is take this 50-50 fight. Brother, I kinda hate when, like, other people give advice to players in Valorant. Like, while you're playing the game, you should be confident to take this type of fights. Yes, you should be confident, and you should be building your mechanical skill to take this type of 50-50s. But you should be doing that during a deathmatch, team deathmatch, practice range, aim labs, Kovacs, and stuff like that. Like, you should be developing your mechanical skill elsewhere, not in the ranked fucking match. Like, the whole point of Valorant is that we're not playing Counter-Strike. If I wanted to play Counter-Strike, I would play Counter-Strike without any abilities. Even in Counter-Strike, you use a flash, you use a Molotov, you use a nade to stop this motherfucker from going through this choke point. In every round where you don't maximize the efficiency of your utility, that is the round where you could have done something better. And that applies for every situation and every agent in this game. Thankfully, we won that fight. Okay, now the Fleshy Flesh needs to take a Fleshy Piss. Actually, it just crossed my mind, like, isn't there in One Punch Man, like, a hero named, like, Fleshy Flesh or some shit like that? Yeah, we won the round number 5. Whoever said that we're gonna win the round number 4, you get the points, brothers. Holy shit, someone is gonna be rich today. Yes, sir. Okay, let's go. Another predizione. Next prediction for this VOD review. Let's see. Okay, so this one is gonna be like a good one. Are they going to win their this one is a full-on gamble. Round number, I'm not gonna tell you which number exactly, but round number, okay. Yes. No. You have only 30 seconds full on gamble mode. Bam. Fleshy Flesh, fastest ninja. Yeah. Okay. So, we are at the round number... Foomf round. So, what will we do in the round number Foomf? Let's see. So, in the first round, enemies went B. We fucked them up. In the second round, enemies went B, we fucked them up. In the third round, enemies went A, they fucked us up. In the 4th round, enemies went for some kind of a B split, we fucked them up. So, in the round number 5, once again I have no fucking idea where the enemies are gonna go, but the chances are much higher that they will try going either mid or A. So what should we do? Very simple. We should prepare our setup for the B in this round because it's a pretty much a gamble type of round. We should give our teammates a wall on B with one razor vine like this. We tell our teammates, guys, close the market doors. And we're gonna prepare our flash for the elbow area of the map right here. I'm gonna start on top mid and essentially just play fast rotations between A and B while trying to hold the mid. When you're playing against the Sage, always be ready for this type of a peek when you're playing from top mid. Sage players like to boost themselves on the wall there, so when I'm holding this angle, my eyes are somewhere here. I'm ready for this fight and this flick as well. Enemies go A, no problemo, mi amor. We can do instant razor vines to deny their push there and focus on supporting our teammates on A side with our flashy flash. If enemies are going B, our teammates have a wall and a razor vines to stop and delay the enemy's push. Wall gets activated, razor vines are there, and that's it. But before I rotate, I would definitely make a few footsteps, back to retrieve the flash through the wall and then go for a rotato potato. So my prediction for this round would be like enemies are either gonna go A or do something on mid. Okay. Listen, if you hear the enemies pushing this fast, especially with the neon, razor mines. Like right now. Like, okay, we're closing the doors. I hear the neon pushing. I'm instantly doing this. So if she slides by any chance, that guy is dead. Now I can use my flash for the market. Enemies destroy the doors. Enemies are pushing through the choke point. One more kill in the pocket. I can focus on playing with my teammates. Yo, Stomp it, we'll see, man. You need to be faster with this decision making. Generally speaking, if you hear a lot of footsteps in mid early on, when you're closing the market doors, you can immediately, be ready to just deploy this shit. Especially against the neon, like, you need to be a bit faster with this decision making. Personally here, I would not pull out the Vandal. I would actually try to jump towards the here, pulling out the shorty and then doing a massacre to that booty right there. We had to deal with that neon faster. Like that's why, I would have pulled out a shorty and jump onto this motherfucker and try to kill him before his teammates actually support him. We needed to be a bit faster with this kill. Also, like, I mean, that's what you... The problem is, like, you should have been more faster with the razor vines. You should have been ready for that type of shit. Okay, flashy flash. We won this round, somehow. Vandalization again.
Now we wait.
Okay, okay. Now, as soon as the enemies, become a bit more unpredictable on Sunset, we can use a few other rules to position ourselves. If the match is going good, we can just position in a default way. Market B side, that's it. And fast rotations towards mid and A, and that's it. If enemies have been abusing one specific area of the map, the whole match, we position in that specific area of the map. Also based on economy, enemy's economy, we can also decide where to position. But in this round, it's good. I would probably also position around the market, around the B site, and just play in a default way. Listen, if you already have a teammate that can close the doors for you, even better. I don't need to waste my time doing this shit. Omen, if enemies are going B, Give me a one-way smoke up here. And please close the market doors. 2 sentences. Even a mentally disabled person will understand that. And that is how we need to behave towards an average Valorant player. So, we start around here. You know, jiggle peeking this angle occasionally. Aha, enemies are going in. With the Desert Mechanic trying to kill the first motherfucker. Instant Razor Vines down. And we can do the same setup. Also, you know, considering the enemy's team composition, it's not a bad idea to play here as well. That's also fine. So, we have a flash. You know, we put this flash here. Enemies are moving in. Bop, bop. Kill the neon. Kill the players in front of the wall. Reset yourself towards the backside. We can replenish the Razor Vines for the second execute. If the enemies decide to move in, apply the pressure from the backside. Reset the flash. Wait for your teammates to rotate. So that is how your positioning and repositioning should look like. And utility usage as well. I mean, I really don't think that this lever is not that strong. You know, one player can pull it down. Oh, what the fuck is this shit, bro? Listen, man. As long as the default passive playstyle is working, and enemies have no solutions for that, I don't do this, man. Like, this is the play that you wanna do maybe once in 12 rounds on a defender side, and when you're in some kind of a disadvantage, like you're playing some eco round, halberd round, or enemies are just obliterating, you know, destroying you on the attacker side, especially because they're taking mid area of the map for free. This right here, the worst play you can do in this round number 6. I don't think there is a worse play than this that you could have done in this round. This is a full-on ego mid-peak, or no, not to mention the enemy Sage left the game, and you already made a numbers advantage. Holy shit, man! He just thinks about the game. He makes a numbers advantage. But like, what the fuck is this, bro? Also, if you want to do this type of a play, I would always, you know, you need support from your teammates. Some kind of a support. Maybe a Sova reveal. Maybe a smoke. Top mid, brother, you're playing Vyse. You can quite easily get stuck. And for a full buy round, no. In Diamond. No, Diamond, full buy round, come on. Papito, I'm coming back to Valorant now. What Sentinels are good? Cypher and Chamber. That's it. Holy shit, bro. Like, this is bad on so many different levels. Sage is AFK. Passive playstyle is working. What the fuck are we doing right now?
Deficient.
Thanks God. Thanks God, like the enemies, you know. I just don't know how the Diamond players are this bad. Like, and they're not checking the angles and corners, but it's Diamond. Low elo still. This is why Diamond is low elo. This is a perfect VOD why Diamond is low elo. As well. And thanks God that the Sova came in help, because, you know, there could have been literally 4 enemies when we went for this type of a swing. So that Sova really came in clutch right now.
One enemy remaining. Spike down mid.
Slow down a bit, man. Like, if you want to play like this, pick that motherfucking Phoenix and do whatever the fuck you want to do. You know? That's why Phoenix is better than Vyse. You can do this with Phoenix. We have 2 flashes, wall, Molotov, like... Okay, you think that enemy... You know, we know that enemy Neon is in the A main area of the map right now because she killed our Reyna. Okay, brother, you know, like... Like, we curve the flash here, go for a wide swing, get that Neon to Jesus Christ. But with a Vyse, relax a bit. We need to, wait for the teammates. play with the teammates, reset yourself, you know, wait for the Sova, wait for the Omen, and then we push. Like what we can do here with this repositioning. Jump spot E to see where is the Neon. Bait her a bit, you know? And then when the teammates come, we swing together and we fight together. Or, if you already want to fight alone, fight with some utility. Basically, if you drop this type of a Razor Vine, she's gonna look at the ground, now swing. Drop a flash here. She's probably gonna do this. And while she's shooting, going for a shot onto the flash, you peek out and take a kill. Same as with the Cypher camera. Bait her with utility. Do something to maybe create this fight to work in your favor. This is APEC, man. This is APAC.
Remaining. Spike down mid.
So this is how you die alone. So in this round, same shit. Same shit as in the round number 5. Like, I would just do a gamble. Wall setup on B, one Razor Vine on B site. So basically, this setup I would do in every round where I'm not certain if enemies are gonna go B, mid, or A. Like basically a Vyse wall onto the B site. One Razor Vine here for my teammates. I'm gonna start top mid, do a flashy flash for the elbow here, and play fast rotations between B and A while also keeping the mid control.
Placing wall trap.
Okay. That can work as well, I guess. Good rotation. Ooh. Listen, whenever you decide to do this type of a rotation through the spawn, when you end up here, no matter what you want to do, you need to clear the top mid. Just for a brief moment of time. Which server? I have no idea, bro. Like, the guy just submitted his VOD. Like, but this is Asia Apex. So here we need to clear the top mid, and you need to be ready for this type of a fight if you're rotating exclusively through the CT area of the map. Like, no matter if you want to go CT or short, you need to clear the top mid before you can focus onto anything else. Also, if you have no info where are all of the enemies, you know, it is totally fine if you deploy one Razor Vine for this peak if you want to fight the enemies from this angle. Like, Razor Vines are like, you know, Killjoy, Molotov, Raise Boombot and stuff like that. Like, they allow you to prevent enemies from peeking you, denying certain positions, and denying the crossfire setups from the enemy team. Holy shit, we lost this round! Ah, chat got scammed, bro. No, actually, I said round number 9, right? Not round number 7. Oh, okay. So this round, you didn't lose it yourself, but you died in the most stupid way possible. Like, the rule for this rotation is always clear the top mid. Because enemies are, you know, one round they go mid, one round they go A, one round they go B. This round, once again, default setup on B and market, and we play fast rotations again. Personally, I wouldn't use this type of a wall. Like, unless you have some kind of a better setup to fuck up the enemies. Like, listen, this is good thing. Like, you know, these aggressive walls to surprise the enemies and fuck them up is not bad. It's actually good. But there's just no reason to do it in this specific match. Like, they're already 5v4. Sage left the game. Also, like, they have only Neon as a duelist. Like, we can fuck them up in the bomb site and in the choke points quite easily. Like, this type of aggro setups you use, like, when your passive setups are not working. Or if you just want to mix it up a bit in some eco, halba, and bonus rounds. But if you're already using this wall, like, I would combine this wall with,
Retrieving flash.
you know, a flash immediately. Like, basically, before the round even starts, I would use a flash here. And then, when the round starts, use a wall like this.
All set.
And now, I would just play inside of this corner, wait for enemies to activate a wall, kill that motherfucker, that activates the wall, reset myself, ask Omen for the one-way, and just reposition at the backside.
All set.
So, let me get this straight. Use an aggro wall to outplay the enemies and fuck them up. Okay. Good. Gute Scheine, gute Scheine. You think enemies are gonna go B. Gute Scheine, gute Scheine. And what you decide to do is, you decide to go for a wide swing and take a 50-50, no, not even a 50-50, it's like... Stuff. A fight in a disadvantage, while you have still Flash, Ultimate, and 2 Razor Vines. Interesting way of thinking, I must say. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Maybe we should work on that. You know? Maybe we should try to abuse our setup first and our utility to get a few kills before you get in a fight like this. This is why I'm telling you, chat, like, it is just mega giga stupid to main so many different agents in the game. This guy is not a Vyse main. This guy is a Phoenix, Omen main, and Sage main. And all of these agents that he's playing have different playstyles, different setups, different ways how you should be playing these agents. As a Phoenix, sure! You think enemies are in the B main? Jiggle peek them a bit? You know, first like, go in and out. Bap, bap, bap. Aha, enemies are there. Wait a bit, listen to the footsteps. Flash! Wait a bit. Maybe do a second flash. Go back. But, bro, you're playing Vyse. You know? You're not playing Chamber with a teleport. Relax a bit. And also, that last round that you lost should be a really good learning round for you. So what did we learn from the last round that we lost? We learned that if we die, our teammates are more than capable losing 1 versus 4. if I'm playing with those type of teammates, I'm gonna make sure that I'm abusing a refrag potential, team play as much as I can to win this match. As many off angles, as much as utility as possible, as many of the safe setups before I end up in a fight like this. Otherwise... Oh, another 1 versus 3. Yes, sir. Give me that. 1v1 now. Oh yeah, we have a spike in the B main. What is Omen gonna do? He's gonna go on site. Oh yeah, baby. Give me that. Look at this. Like I'm playing a. It's like I'm playing a Football Manager 2026. Valorant Manager 2026. Look at this. Look at this motherfucker. Like spike is in the B main, and instead of isolating, you know, 2 different angles, now this Reyna can be anywhere. What the fuck is going on? Nah. I just... A different breed of the players in low elo. Crazy stuff. Why is Reyna pushing City? That's not the question. The question is like, why is Omen getting away from the spike and letting, you know, exposing himself to so many different timings and problems. Okay, finally, round number 9. So in this round, I would gamble that enemies are gonna go either mid or A. I would use a full setup on A, with a wall in elbow, flash in elbow, start top mid, and play fast rotation towards the A set and B side. So this will be the first round, you know, where we are kinda wrong, essentially with our setup. But you know, on Sunset, as long as you're gambling towards the market and top mid, you're always there to support your teammates.
All set.
This deep wall like this makes no sense. Makes absolutely zero sense if you're not gonna play around it. It's, in my opinion, it's just a waste of the wall. It's just stupid for your skill level and for your rank.
My ultimate's ready.
30 seconds left.
Like, it's just not useful enough. What would be the right play from the Omen? As I already mentioned, like, he knows that Spike is here. Just, you know, maybe play an angle like this, where he can isolate this fight and this fight. If Reyna comes through the beam and picks up the Spike, that Reyna can only end up on B side. And Reyna is not gonna expect the Omen from behind if she doesn't clear this angle. If she just picks up the Spike through the beam in. And he has an upper edge in that fight. She's probably gonna, after the Spike plant, she's probably gonna go back into the beam and thinking that Omen is somewhere here. Very good that you came to help your Omen into the market once you heard that, you know, enemies are pushing mid. Listen, never, like when enemies are engaging you into a duel, never stand statically. You cannot take this type of fight as a static fight, no matter if you're playing an off angle or not. Like we need to counter a bit, you know, the enemy's peeker's advantage and move in that fight with a silent step mechanic and be ready for that fight like this. But also, like, I mean, you know that Neon is behind that phone booth. Use maybe one Razor Vine to deny that peek, then use a flash on the opposite side to bait her out and kill her. Isn't putting a Razor Vine market good? Yeah, it's okay. You know, especially when you notice that enemies like to push through market and mid a lot of the times. You can just put a Razor Vine there. And that's okay, default position for a Razor Vine. Fucking hell, chat, huh? It's actually a W in the round number 9. Okay, whoever said that they're gonna win a round number 9. There's only one guy with a prediction. Okay, you didn't lose the points. Okay, next gamble chat. Prediction. Done. Aspire, thank you for the one sub, man. Muchas gracias, brother. Muchas gracias. Yeah. This round, as I already mentioned, like, I would once again gamble, start top mid with a, but this time with a setup on B and A as well. Same setup as I explained in the previous rounds. Yeah, this is a fast rotation. We know that enemies are pushing A. Time to go. We have the ultimate as well, that's good. Listen, if you already have teammates that are top mid, you can just rotate with them. Don't waste your time going through the CT. Usually when you have the Vyse ultimate and you're going for these retakes on A side, you should go through A short. Like, you know, the ultimate is just really good. I mean, you know, the most of the positions you can cover from this spot here. You don't cover the elbow, but enemies on the side are at least fucked. So, we use this ultimate. We maybe use a Razor Vine to prevent the enemies from peeking that. One Razor Vine for this, with a flash for the elbow and sight, and we move out. Good. Oh, precise gunplay. Huh? Listen, when you're like destroying the Sage wall, always destroy the Sage wall and doors in Valorant until they're about to break. But don't fully destroy them if you're destroying them alone without any support. First, you should destroy a bit of the wall, reload the weapon, and then finish off the wall. So that you don't, you know, so that... What if the enemy Sova was still behind the wall? When you had only 2 bullets left. You are dead. And here you're making a mistake that I talked about, like... if you're going for this retake through A short. 1 Razor Vine there, and now we go for a retake. You can also take your time to do a Razor Vine at the backside while you're clearing this. Doing that, or maybe a Razor Vine towards the elbow while you're clearing the site, and then clearing the site. Use your utility!
Irrelevant.
Especially now, you have a flash and 2 Razor Vines. What are we doing, bro? You know that some enemies are elbow, some enemies are A short. Use something. Like, imagine if you somehow end up deploying this Razor Vine. No, we can just defuse this spike. Maybe fully. And if enemies want to go for a peek, they're fucked. Bait the enemies, you know, cross their placement with a flashes, with a Razor Vines, like before you go for a peek like this. Like you're just taking 50-50 duels, like you're playing Chamber, Phoenix, or some agent like that. I mean, even with those agents, you're not taking 50-50 fights like this. Like, this is stupid to fight like that.
Retrieving flash.
Like, you're gonna have a flash with the Phoenix, you're gonna have a teleport with the Chamber, like... This is the worst thing you can do right now. When you know that some enemies are here and some are here. Deny the backstep from these motherfuckers. And now, you know, maybe do a flash through the wall. Maybe a flash there. If enemies don't shoot the flash, we can just go for a peek. If enemies shoot the flash, we can maybe surprise them and fuck them up, like. Drop a Razor Vine behind the corner. Activate it. Half defuse the spike. Or maybe fully defuse it. You're literally applying 0 pressure onto the enemies with your utility. When you need to improvise with utility. Like 0. Basically like... you're not even using it, to be honest. I really hope our Sky is gonna help us out. Also, if you wanna do this type of play with Vyse, like maybe you wanna get behind this box or behind this box. Oh, for fuck's sake, I always forget the flash in this custom. Why can't I just hold my... pick it up anywhere, like it's a custom game anyways. So, you wanna play here or here. When the round starts, deploy the flash immediately somewhere, you know, like behind yourself, and then walk into the position where you want to play. Now, if enemies are coming here, we can decimate them. Also, as I already mentioned, like, when you notice that enemies really like the market, and enemies are abusing the same play 24/7, it's okay to put that Razor Vine there. Totally fine, especially if your teammates struggle with the market control. Same rule applies to any area of the map. Playing here alone as a Vyse player is just absolutely stupid in my opinion. Like, if Sky is not gonna bait for you, if Sky is not gonna play with you, this is mega dumb. Giga mega dumb. Like, the only thing that makes sense with the Sky, with the Vyse, is fucking up the enemies around this wall. You know, from this corner, or when the round starts, like, you just scoot up here and pray to God that Sova is not gonna use the arrow and enemies are not gonna scout you with their recon abilities. Before the wall activates, and then you can fuck up the enemies with a flash. Like this. Also, the crosshair placement here is criminal. Like, so how should you play in this angle? With a close range weapon such as Stinger and Spectre. Even Judge and Bucky. Always like this. Like, you're never fully static in the corner. You cannot stay like this. Angle perception advantage is not working in your way in any way, essentially. Like, we need to go in and out, in and out, in and out, and pre-aim the enemies that are up there. If the enemies are close, small micro corrections down, and that's it. Diamond Sova.
Perfect.
Can you relax a bit? Like, if you're about to... Okay, we killed the Sova. We don't know where are the rest of the enemies and how many enemies are here. Like, instead of just swinging the enemies immediately into a second fight without any utility, without a good crosshair placement, without good movement, try to get some information here. Like, we kill the Sova, jiggle in, jiggle out, jumps for the enemies maybe, I don't know, like, try to bait them, you know, with a flash, like the rest of the enemy team, and then go for a peek. You don't have to immediately swing out and hunt for more kills. Even now. So, what is the best play right now to kill this Sage? That's it.
Spike down B.
I guess the audio cues are not our best friends. Like, flash ability doesn't exist for you to engage the enemies, to fuck them up in these 1v1 fights, and to fuck up with their, you know, fuck around with their crosshair placement and target acquisition. Like, you're not using it at all, and you need to use it more. I really don't see a reason. You know, if you already placed a wall on B, you have one teammate in market, one teammate in B main. And that teammate in market is gonna close the doors for you. Why do you start in market? Just start top mid and play fast rotations. Right now, okay, we can, you know, use a wall here. Use this for the market and start top mid. With a flash and one more razor vine. And play fast rotations. Enemies are going market. That's it. We're gonna stop their push and we're gonna be ready to play with our teammates on B. We need to clear mid. We need to clear mid. We need to clear mid a bit better. You cannot just swing it. Like, the best advice I can give you is when you're going top mid with your teammates, like, let your teammates peek first. Fuck it. You know, let this Reyna peek first, and you peek behind the Reyna. Why would you be the one exposing yourself? Or jump spot the enemies, and then clear one angle at a time. Okay. Overall, like, your gameplay just doesn't have a single sense for a player that is playing Vyse. Like, this is not how a Vyse player should be playing on a defender's side. Attacker side of Sunset. Default bomb site, number 1 priority, B site. Number 2 priority, A site. Number 3 priority, mid area of the map. In the first 4 to 6 rounds, we should do the 5-man executes on either B or A, testing the strengths between our team and the enemy team. Also, the enemy team in this specific VOD is mega weak. Like, they, you know, their team composition is like, I mean, it's okay, just everything is way too expectable, you know, like, way too default. We know what to expect. You know, in the early rounds, at the start of the rounds, we should expect the Sova Dart, Sova Arrow. We should expect the Omen Paranoia for the A main area of the map, the Neon Stun and Neon Aggression from, you know, mid, B main, and A main. All of that utility is easy to bait out, avoid, dodge, and to compensate. Now, in the first 4 to 6 rounds, together as 5 A, B fakes. or 5-man pushes. Where should I go? Like, what should you push early on Sunset? If enemies have 0 hardcore sentinels, 3 rounds in a row B, and in the 4th round we can go A, or fake B go A, or fake A go B again. Enemies have 1 or more hardcore sentinels, such as Sage. 3 rounds in a row, A push, and in the 4th round, B push or some kind of a fake. But we have one problem, and that problem is your team composition. Like with this team comp, it is mega, giga hard pushing the B site. Like it's really hard getting out on B. So I would fuck the team compositions, fuck everything. With this team comp, 3 rounds in a row, we need to measure our dicks on the A site against the enemies. Primarily prioritizing the elbow control, and then from the elbow, scaling into the bomb site. Also, in the first round, playing alone, lurking, flanking, whatever the fuck you're doing right now, is never an option. So, in the first round with the Vyse, this is what you do. My teammates want to go A. Amazing. That is what we should do anyways. We can get a Ghost with a wall, or we can get a classic pistol, light shield, wall, and 1 Razor Vine. We should tell our Zova to use the early recon dart for the A short, or for the elbow. But also in the first round, you know, we can tell our Sky to use a flash there. There's no reason for you to waste your flash, like your Sova and Sky should be giving you the info here. We place a wall deep like this for the, you can just place it here essentially, for the aim-in area of the map. And basically, you can actually cross this wall. Is this possible? Then fuck that shit, man, I'm sorry. Like then we need to place a wall here. And we just go for a 5-man push on A. We're scaling up with our teammates, fighting the enemies in A short, clearing the elbow, and using our flash in an improvised way to engage the enemies and take the site. We don't need to do anything more than that. You're interrupting my ads with your stream? I know, Twitch is horrible, man. Horrible, to be honest, with the ads these days. Like, I tune into every stream, I spend at least 5 minutes per hour watching the ads. This, what you're doing right now, is the absolutely worst way how you can play the first rounds in the ranks below Immortal 3. Like, this is no bueno. No Kinder Bueno, bro. But the problem is, like, even if you get this kill, like, you just have no idea what the fuck your teammates are gonna do on the A site. Like, as right now, you can have, like, your whole team dying like a potatoes in the A main area of the map, and even if you get these 2 kills, if 4 of your teammates die, and we lose a spike, you did basically nothing. Fight together, win together, die together, lose together, just in the first round, play together. Well, that was a bit lucky. What the fuck is that Sage doing, bro? What was the buy? He bought the Ghost with a wall, and he put a wall in aim-in, so at least they have a wall for the flank.
Shame.
This is like comedy, bro. Comedy round. Comedy round.
Enemy remaining.
What is... I give up. I give up. What do you consider low elo? I don't want to Diamond 3. That's a Diamond 1 omen. That's a Diamond 1 omen. Okay, Chad, they actually won the first round. Like, I don't know what to say, like. So, yes, I guess. Let's make another gamble. Listen, this gamble is gonna be hidden, so you cannot cheat. Just a second. Are they? You have 30 seconds. Bam. Why do you need team play when you can catch people AFK? Apparently you don't. But the outcome of this round, listen. Well, the most important tip for the first rounds in Valorant. Like, basically, the first round should always be the 5-man organized push towards one area of the map. Like, the more you allow your teammates to default, to split, to play alone, the lower are their chances you're gonna win that round. Like in the first round, attacker side players have an advantage over the defender side players. We have more utility. We have higher reflect potential. We have a higher chance of killing the enemies as well. And we all have semi-automatic weapons. Like, there's no way that one enemy on the bomb site is just gonna kill all 5 of you. Like, there's no fucking way. If you do a proper execute with proper utility usage. And of course, like, we should just tell our teammates, you know, hey brother, can we, you know, if you're doing a 5-man push on A, Omen, can we get a smoke here and here? And that's it. Like, we need to have a proper smoke setup for the execute. When should we look at the minimap? Go on my Discord server, go to the text channel called Ask the Coach, and here in search or create a post, search for minimap awareness. That's the name of the post. Everything is explained there. Oh, I almost leaked my porn files. Listen. Okay, we can do a 5-man push on B now. It doesn't matter. Fuck it. Just with this team composition, I would heavily focus on the A side in the first few rounds. Why? We have a terrible team composition to take the space on B. And of course, we're going to use the mid as a last resort. You win the first round of Sunset. In a second round, what are your buy options? Stinger, Heavy Shield, short to utility. Spectre, Heavy Shield, short to utility. Bulldog, Heavy Shield, utility. Fuck the Phantom with the Light Shield. Fuck the Vandal with the Light Shield. Like, these are never an options for you in a second round. Never. Now, my teammates wanna go B in this round. 5-man push B. Okay. We're gonna use a wall. Basically, there is a wall like this, but I think it's short. You can use a wall like this, to be honest, for the B executes. We're just running it down B. Okay. We're running here, jump spotting the enemies, clearing these angles in the way that I'm showcasing right now. Jump spotting the enemies again, clearing this angle, ready to move in. How should your execute with Vyse look like on B side? First, you should deploy one Razor Vine for that angle right there, to prevent enemies from peeking this position completely. Anyways, our only job is to get the stairs control and frontside control. You can use your flash as an improvised flash. Like, basically, you can use it for the market. You can use it for the market and backside. You can use it for the backside. Depends where you think enemies are at that moment of time. Most of the times, you can use your flash for the backside if you already need to use a blind flash. Because there's gonna be players playing here, players playing here, so it's never really a waste, whatever. So it's really up to you. And the second Razor Vine, you can either deploy for this angle here as you're moving in, so the enemies cannot scale out from this smoke and fuck up your teammates, or you can just save it for the post plant and that's it. So most of the times this is what you should do. But what's very important is how we take this beam-in area of the map. We need to jump spot the enemies, be ready to fight with our teammates and scale up with them properly. Also, when you're playing against the Sage and you see a Sage wall, expect any type of shenanigans. Sage is gonna use a wall here. Expect the Sage on this angle. Expect the Sage always on top of the wall, around the wall gaps. When you're going onto the A side, expect the Sage up here. Expect the Sage wall through the elbow and this type of a peek. You need to counter that because your teammates are not gonna think about this ever. Start of the round was terrible. We should be jump spotting the enemies. Already right now, you should be ready to go out with this Reyna. And use her as a refrag tool. Like basically, we should have started the round like this. Jump spot the enemies. Clear this angle. Reyna is going out. So I don't have time to use this Razor Vine. I'm just using my flash for the backside and going out with a Reyna flash. And I'm always scaling towards the right side. And I'm trying to get into this corner as soon as possible. And then from this corner, I'm fighting the enemies at the backside with my teammates and taking additional space. Stop picking the stupid orbs when there is something better for you to do at that moment of time. You pick up the orbs only when there's nothing better for you to do at that moment of time. And when you're one ultimate orb away from the ultimate. Right now, you should be going out. No, play with your teammates, bro. Play with the Reyna, play with the Sky. Like, they could have died in so many different ways here. Now, when you take a side control, like, the only thing that you ask yourself is who in my team has the highest chances of dying right now, and who in my team is probably gonna play a bit more aggressively. So right now, very good Razor Vine for the market, but we should be playing at the backside with our Reyna. So, what should we do right now? We should play on this position. And this is anyways your default position for the post plants on the B side of Sunset. Sorry guys. We can essentially keep our flash here, you know? And then when the enemies are scaling out through the CT, kill them, play a crossfire with the Reyna, and that's it. And we can keep the second Razor Vine for grim days. Also, you know, decision to come back here as well was good. Really good. We heard the wall being activated, but once again, why do you like to play so much in these one and done wide open positions? Especially in this round, you should not be doing that. In this anti-eco round. Play some crossfire, double bait, double tower, double peak setups, play around the corners. Like, what is the fetish with this? Like, you heard enemies behind you. Get in this corner, you know? Wait for the Sova to get the first contact. Now swing out and fight. Plus you have a Phantom, bro. I like how he is cheating for his Sova right now. Go Sova! Go! Go! He just doesn't want to help him at all, like. Get some cover, man. You should be the one fucking up the enemies with the peeker's advantage. You should be the one surprising them. Like, what are we doing right now? Reset yourself. Like, you know, Omen got the info about you. Play here, you know? Wait for the Omen footsteps and then bam, bam, bam. Get him out of the server. I'm really glad you lost this round and you died like this. Because in this round, your solo impact was like 0. From positioning to team play to utility usage, nothing. You literally did nothing in this one except reveal the enemies from behind with a wall. But even an Iron player can do that. Mega stupid round from your side. Like, literally, you consistently need to make some decisions based on what's happening and what your teammates want to do. Like, my Sova is here. I'm gonna play here. While I still have Reyna and Skye covering the market and backside. Sova is running it down. I'm running it down with the Sova. And I'm trying to figure out a way how I can refrag him and clear the enemies from behind. And we focus on the enemies on front of the site. And playing with our teammates in front of the site. On the bomb site. And my dude spent the whole post plant wide open from the backside market and the B main area of the map like this. Where you need to commit in a stupid 50-50 fight. With a flash and razor vines as well. Come on, bro. We can do better. WG leader. Top 3 Vandals. Exo, Gaius, and Araxis. Not bad, if you ask me.
Excellent. 30 seconds left.
Okay.
Player standing.
Terrible round. Like, especially in this round, what was terrible is your team play and positioning. Like this, you need to find better places to play during a post plant. And most of the times, like, that decision, where you want to play during a post plant, should be based on some information. Where are your teammates? How aggressive they are? Where are the enemies? And what type of utility enemies have? If you answer these 4 questions, you know where to play. What the fuck was, like... We won this?
Enemy remaining.
Oh, Skye actually won this for us.
No.
I thought we lost this round. Holy shit, the Skye clutching for you, man, huh?
It was rhetorical. For them.
Listen, man, like, this round should be a bonus round for us. You know, we should save in this round. But the rule is very, very simple in Valorant. If 3 or more of your teammates are forcing, you force with them. So what can we buy right now? Let me see. Let me check. 3,500 credits. Vandal and Light Shield. And that's it. Like it. Fuck the wall, fuck everything, like. If you're playing a full buy round, prioritize, you know, the weapons and shields over utility. Anyways, like, your whole utility is pretty much useless on the attacker side. Or you can get a bulldog with a heavy shield, wall, and 1 razor vine.
Feel no.
Fuck the light shield. Instead of 1 additional razor vine, get a heavy shield. Wall is all you need on the attacker side. Everything else is just optional if you have extra money. So, what did we learn about the enemies in the previous rounds? So we learned that Sage is mainly the market and B player. We learned that enemies have at least 2 enemies on the A side, primarily the Sova using the recon abilities here and the Neon. And Omen likes to play aggressively around the mid and mid area of the map. So with all of that info, I would go A again, to be honest. Like, I mean, pushing against the Sage with this team composition is just like, oh, I don't know. Good flash. Where are you going? Stop playing alone in this first 4 to 6 rounds. Play with the team. You know? Like right now, we should literally replicate the first round. Wall here. You can also do a wall here. It's okay. It's fine. You know? Very rarely you're gonna see that enemies are gonna lurk and flank through the spawn. But it's better to be safe rather than sorry, so, you know, just do a regular ass wall. Your teammates wanna go A. Let's go. Let's fight. Let's go with them. You know? Let's clear these angles, this angle with them, this position, jumps for the enemies in elbow, clear this, clear this, clear these angles, jumps for the enemies again, or if your teammates are just running it down, use them as a Sova drone, bait the shit out of them, and be ready to refrag them on all of these positions. Then once we clear all of this, you know, we can prepare our setup for A. We can, you know, use some kind of a flash for the site, like high up flash here will do our job a lot of the times. If there is a smoke here, of course, like you don't wanna flash your teammates. Also from this wall right here, I completely missed it. You can actually bounce a razor vine that is gonna fully cuck an enemy in that position. You can also bounce it like this, you know, you don't need to be super precise. That enemy is fully cucked, and that's gonna allow us to basically clear the front side and focus on enemies in short before we focus on an enemy at the back side. You can also use the flash for the enemies in A short to prevent this type of a peek. For enemies on site, you can use a flash for... I mean, depends. We should have a smoke here, and then go out. What are you doing, bro? You can, like, there is a moment and time for everything in your gameplay. Yes, there are some rounds where you should lurk and flank, where you should play alone. But those are not the first 4 to 6 rounds of a match. Measure the cocks first. You know, like, measure the length of your dick with the enemies. See who has a bit bigger dick, you know, during these 5-man executes. Because if enemies have a small PP, and they cannot stop your executes, they have no solution for the retakes. The match is over. The game is already done. Especially in low elo lobbies. But if you don't play with your teammates, and your teammates do a 3-man push in A-man, and they get fucked like this, good luck. Just good luck. Also, the problem is, there's another problem. You don't know if your teammates have a smaller or bigger dick than enemies. That's another problem. So when you leave your teammates to play alone with a spike like this, it's a 50-50 gamble. And you don't want to do this. You don't want to do this type of gambles in the first, 4 to 6 rounds. You want to first see if your teammates are better or enemies. Can they hold on their own? Also, I don't know where the fuck am I gonna flank and lurk right now. Because I don't know how enemies are exactly gonna play. You go for the flanks, lurks, and solo plays when nothing else is working. Or when you have a really good idea how you can get some solo picks and win a solo round. Have a huge solo impact in that round for your team.
Down A. Last player standing.
What is this, bro? Like a match of AFKs? Is this silver 1 like... Listen, if one of your teammates leaves the game, the best advice I can give you is play slow, especially if that is a controller. We need to focus on maybe punishing some enemy's aggression and waste as much time as you can for that guy to potentially come back. Otherwise in Valorant, winning a 4v5 is just almost impossible. Like, you need to be a smurf to win this type of a match. But you should still play it all the way until the end. Okay, at least now we know how enemies like to fight in the A-main area of the map. They always use some Sova, Recon, Omen, Paranoia. So first we need to bait out their utility, and then we can do a push. So what should we do? Sky? Can you just use a flash through the window? Wait for the enemies to use their utility, and then scale up. How do you have a bulldog again? Like, in what type of world am I living here? Ah, we are forced buying again with 2800. Oh, okay. Okay. Not really the best economy management ever. At least they shot the arrow. Angle clearing 0 points. Like, if you're going in first, and enemies already know you're going A, be ready for the sage wall up here. Clear this angle properly. Clear this angle deep as fuck, all the way there. Jump spot the enemies here. Then be ready for these off-angle fights. Check this position properly for a shotgun or whatever. If you think a shotgun is there, like, just flash that motherfucker and then kill him. Jump spot this angle. Then do a peek onto this position. Be ready for this fight and scale up like a normal human being. With a good crosshair placement, jumps with mechanic, utility, everything used. Like you're physically and mentally not ready for 50% of fights that you can take in this area of the map. Take your time. Clear the angles. It's always better for you to die because of timings. You know, you were not fast to do something, instead of dying because you try to do something fast in a sloppy way or not precise way. Like, value the precision over the speed always. You know, as you're consistently doing the good plays, you will develop the speed to do these good plays faster. But if you're consistently rushing out and doing bad plays, even if they sometimes work, they will cost you more rounds and you will die more times because you're doing a bad fucking play. Very good that he's prioritizing the elbow control. That's nice.
Wall tripped.
Personally, I don't know if I would go back here, even if I knew that some enemies are behind me. I mean, you already know that there's at least 1 or 2 enemies CT. Like, and also, as, you know, especially now, without the smokes, you had to drop this razor mine there. Like, we need to deny some peaks from the enemies before we go out from this choke point. And then maybe you can focus on, you know, the back. Holy shit, he's cheating, huh? Look at that! Pre-aim through the wall, huh? He's like, fuck, man, I should hide it a bit more. On this range with a bulldog, you always use the burst fire. You don't fight with the automatic fire. Automatic fire of bulldog is just, you know, underwhelming. On this range, 1 burst fire, 2nd burst fire, that guy is dead. I mean, that guy should be dead with 1 burst fire to the head and body. Generally speaking, your gunplay can be a lot better, and that is something that we need to work on in deathmatch and practice range. Like, you don't just... some weapons you just don't understand. How should you use them? When should you use them? When should you pull them up? And, you know, how should you abuse them to the highest efficiency possible? Oh, Omen! Willkommen! As I already mentioned, the first thing I mentioned during this half is I would be focused on A site a lot. Like, that would be my highest priority. Because with this team composition that we have right here, the only way for us to execute the B sites successfully, if we do it a bit slower and enemies make some mistakes, or if we do like 1-4 or 2-3 splits through mid into the market. Without the mid and market control, with this team composition, 5-man B push is just a suicide. I love how much you don't respect utility in the A main area of the map. I love the confidence though. I love the confidence. And please, can we clear the angles properly? If you have a long range weapon, like go from the right side, clear this shit, clear this shit, clear this shit, while your teammates are holding the elbow. Jumps for the enemies and then let's swing the enemies and take this, you know. What type of cheats are you using? Because I want to use them as well. How do you know that nobody's left, nobody's right, like, nobody's in the elbow, like, what the fuck? And also, why would you use the ultimate so early on? Generally speaking, like, you want to use the Vyse ultimate once your team gets some kind of a contact in elbow, or if you clear the elbow and enemies give you the full elbow, just do it for the whole site and the CT as well. I mean, you can do it here as well, like, no problem. Just, you know, enemies in the elbow can dodge it. Enemies here can dodge it as well. Fuck the enemies in short. Anyways, like, most of the enemies are gonna play deep here. But you need to be more scared. You know? You need to be more, like, you need to be very careful, brother. Clear the angles first. clear every position from which enemies can kill you, and then use the utility and ultimate. How are we playing Bulldog again?
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yo, Namzera! Thank you for the prime game summon and thank you for skipping just best, bro. Okay, we need to use a Bulldog again. You can also go for a Stinger and Heavy Shell. You know, a really good force buy option on Sunset attacker side is Sheriff, Stinger, and Heavy Shield with utility. You have a gun for every situation. Angle clearing is not an option for you. But even if you use your ultimate as Vyse, we need to be careful. Enemies still have Sheriffs, Ghost, Shorties, Classic Pistols. Like, I need to clear this angle by going in and out. Then clearing all of these positions where the enemies can be one at a time. You cannot just run it down. I will still use the Razor Vines for that shit. You know? Then move in, like, maybe use the Flash for short, I don't know. We cannot just run it down. How do you know right now that nobody is at the backside? What type of Nostradamus are you? Running through this smoke like okay, if I wanna go through this smoke, I need to start walking already here. And then with a silent step mechanic, clear the smoke. Like if I was here or here, I would expect you to push that smoke because you literally did this.
Down A.
How do you know that nobody is A short? You know, right now, I know that your teammates are getting stomped on the A side. But team play doesn't exist anymore. Your teammates are dying. You're 2 versus 4. The only way for us to win this round is to surprise the enemies and isolate them into some 1 versus 1 gunfights. Like here, you could have killed Omen and Reyna if you just played a bit slower and took your time. And on this range, once again, you use the ADS of the Bulldog. Also, in these type of matches, where in the first 4 to 6 rounds, you notice that enemies like to push behind you every round. Those type of rounds are the rounds where you should try to fake a bit more and play default a bit more. You're probably gonna get some kills. But if 3 of your teammates die from 1 neon in the B main, then don't default and just, we need to do 5-man executes. Cabbages fly! Go, my potatoes! 2 versus 3, and picking up the op. An absolute respect for the confidence.
Last player standing. One.
Okay, we know that Sova is CT because the cabbage flew towards that Sova.
Enemy remaining.
But how should we play this 1v1?
Spike down B.
We need to expect the Sova at top mid. We need to pick up the spike. To be honest, like, I would just go B. I would just go B. After that kill on Omen and Reyna. Like, because the doors are still not broken. We can just close the doors, deny the flank through the mid. And then Sova can only be CT or B main after that. So, pretty much this should be an easy post plant. But I would expect that Sova is either top mid or in A main behind me. What the fuck? You should have went here on B based on information that you had. Like, you knew that Sova is deep CT towards the A side because the cabbage flew towards the Sova. You have the doors to deny the flank through mid. the post on B would be easier for you. Now, where you plan the spike depends, like, how you wanna plan to play the post plant. I mean, this plant for the B-main area of the map is not really the best.
Spike planted.
And I brother, like, you walked all the way onto the B site. Whenever you have no idea, and you're playing these 1v1s, you need to take more space and clear more angles. Like, use every single second on the clock to clear as many angles as possible. Like here, we need to check the whole B-main area of the map. We need to check the left angle, right angle. We need to check the market here, this deep angle on the right side. You need to check the whole backside, and then you can plan the spike.
Spike planted.
Here, you also need to expect that Sova is anywhere and everywhere at this moment of time. You cannot hold utility in the hands. Right now, with a gun, we need to reposition into some angle where we are only exposed from one angle at that moment of time. I mean, the best idea here was just to play the poster from the B-main. Fuck it. I have a flash. I have razor vines. If I just play, so, you know, how would I play this post plant? I would actually plant the spike here. I would go... Where the fuck is my flash? Just a second. I would use my flash in the
Retrieving flash.
B-main, like this. I would go all the way behind this corner and just hold my flank. Sova needs to tap the spike if you want to defuse it. If he is there, I can just walk towards him, flash him, take a kill. They don't have a clove in their team composition. You know, it's 1v1 against Sova. He doesn't have a smoke. And, you know, there is no way that if Sova comes through the market or through the CT, there's no way he's gonna walk all the way like this while the spike is ticking down and clear this position as well. Like, usually in a 1v1, this is a pretty safe bet. Like, 99% of times, like, you have a clean 1v1 that doesn't rely on any timings or luck or shit like that.
Planted. Blinding crack.
And, you know, this is a terrible position. Like, in a 1v1 positioning in a way where you can die from 3 different angles. Like, in this example, it would have been even better if you played a spot like this. At least you can die from 2 positions, left and right. But no, my dude is all the way here. He can die from mid, from CT, from the site as well. I don't know how you, like, the only way how you could have made this round worse is if you just literally played on top of the spike. And you were just doing this. And during the post plans, like, in these type of situations, like, your only job is to eliminate as many angles as possible from which this Sova can kill you based on timing or luck. Like, just, you know, there should be only one angle that you're holding, and that's it. Like, this is a terrible spot. No way, he didn't defuse the spike. Like, what the fuck?
Mission.
Angle clearing is a thing of like, I don't know what's happening here. You need to check that angle where the Sage is playing. Like, your pathing and angle clearing can be like 10 times better. Like, you need to spend at least 15 to 20 minutes per day, like, working on this problem in a custom server, considering how bad it is for you. Replicate what I showcase in my rank playbook on my Discord server, and 15 to 20 minutes practice. Until, you know, all of that is on a good autopilot mode for you. Like, this type of a death is unacceptable.
Need a
But the thing is, like, the problem during these 5v5 rounds is not even the executes. It's just how we path and how we fight together as a team. And you can fix that with your better positioning, with your better angle clearing, and with your better pathing with your allies. What the fuck is happening with my hair? Now, one rule when it comes to maps with mid areas. Whenever you have 2 or more teammates fighting in the mid area of the map, you need to fight with them. Period. They have the absolutely highest chances of dying at that moment of time. So right now, we have one guy in the A main, 3 teammates on mid, fuck it. Use the wall for the B main push, right here.
wall set.
Play with your teammates on mid. And most of the times when your teammates are fighting for the mid, you want to fight from the tiles. Basically, from the tiles, it's easier for you to pick most of the fights that your teammates can pick. El Tarma, what's you, man? Makalo, welcome, brother. What is best Sentinel on Sunset? Cypher or Vyse?
Thorns are alive.
But and also, like, whenever you're fighting for the mid control, you need to tell your Omen brother, can you please give us a smoke for top mid? Angle clearing, 0 points again.
One enemy remaining.
We don't count luck as a good play. What is this push, bro, like? Like, how do you know that one enemy is maybe not peeking you right now like this? How do you know that one enemy is maybe not holding you here with an operator or whatever gun they might have? Take your time to clear the angles, you know, bare minimum jump spot the enemies and then take the fight with them. Like, you're not ready with your movement and crosshair placement for any of these gunfights. You just want to go through mid without any info for the market and the pillar. So what if the doors are being closed? You know, you always need to check this position and this position. And this position as well. As a matter of fact, you did the same play on a defender side. You closed the market doors, you got into this corner, and got 2 kills. Every shit that you like doing on a defender side, you should expect from the enemies when they play on defense. Especially if the enemies have the smoke for the bottom mid. This ultimate is just an absolute waste. Like, who are you using the ultimate for right now? Like, for one enemy that is top mid, relax a bit, brother. Like, you know, first way to see, you know, where are the enemies, get some information, finish all of these fights on mid, and then we can use the ultimate for some execute or onto some bomb site or something. This is the issue, lol. This behavior gets rewarded and punished, and then people keep doing it, myself included. But yeah, like, you know, like that's the main problem for an average player to improve in Valorant. Like, it's really hard for you to distinct what is a good play and a bad play when the bad play sometimes works for you. But the problem is, like, statistically, that is what is keeping you stuck. Just feeding those bad habits and bad plays, and then, like, you know, you get fucked. Hey, Charlatan, what happened to the A to Z challenge? Let me explain. So, this is the plan. I'm gonna give it to you right now. After this stream, we're gonna have one more stream on Monday, essentially. And then from next Wednesday to the Monday after that, I am AFK. Basically, I'm going to Budapest for the CS2 major. When I come back from Tuesday, all the way until the end of this act, I'm going to be playing on my second account, warming up for the A to Z challenge. Like, I'm just going to be playing shit tons of games, and I'm only going to focus on tracker reviews and the playbook. Nothing else. I'm not going to do any VOD reviews, any coaching, like tracker reviews, playbooks, and ranked matches. Minimum 5 per day because I'm mega rusty right now. And if I plan to do the A to Z challenge, I need to play the game. And then, as soon as the next act starts, basically the season 2026, I'm gonna start A to Z challenge. What is the A to Z challenge? Like, basically, I'm gonna go from Astra all the way to Yoru, and I need to get a win on every agent before I can move on to the next one. It doesn't matter which map I'm playing, team compositions don't matter, nothing. I need to play Astra. I play Astra. And I need to get a W on this agent so I can move on to the breach. And we'll see. You know? It's probably gonna take us like a few months to complete this shit. And a few brain cells.
3 down.
So the other tier 3 will be postponed. I'll do them. I'll still do them, like, you know, from time to time. I'll mix it up. Imagine a loss sets you one agent back. No, but that's... I don't want to lose... I never said I want to lose every inch of my hair. Just a few brain cells. Now, I try to play a bit more disciplined. You know, focus on team play instead of making the plays. We have a B site. We're 4v2. Our economy is kinda shit. Let's win this round with all 4 players alive. You know? And let's not make our teammates, once again, lose a numbers advantage scenario. Like, your teammates in this match lost 3 rounds. 3 versus 1. 3 fucking rounds. Stay alive. Focus on team play. Refrag potential. All of that basic stuff. Like, post plans are criminal for you. Criminal. How you position yourself. And I'm not gonna mention the angle clearing and ever again during this VOD review. You need to slow down. If you wanna play like this, Phoenix is a perfect agent for you. Phoenix, Omen, Yoru, amazing. Valet, Jet. That is what you should be playing. Why are you even playing Vyse? Like, what you try to do right now, with a duelist, fine. With a chamber, even fine. But Vyse, relax, brother. Relax, my man. You know, you have a flesh. You have a razor vines. I don't know what we're doing here. My dude is literally just running it down at this point. Excited for voting version 2. I'm not really, because I mean, you should be if you're buying it right now for the first time. But I'm probably not gonna change my voting keyboard for the next 5 years.
Go away. Rip and tear. Thorns are live. Wall tripped. My ultimate's ready.
Why are you so unnecessarily aggressive? When you have an advantage, when you have the safety, and when you have the teammates with yourself. Like, during this VOD review, like, at least 70% of fights that you picked are some kind of a 50-50 fights where either you don't have an advantage, where you don't have teammates to trade you, or you are in some kind of a disadvantage. Who made you mad, bro? Like, did your girlfriend break up with you? Relax a bit, like, you know, here, we got a kill on the enemy Sage. Very good. Now, wait for the Sky Dog to clear some angles. Wait for the smokes. Use the flash for the backside. And then we can scale into this corner. Then we kill the Reyna. Then we focus on clearing the whole backside, you know? And then we can maybe prepare some Razor Vines to deny the enemy's flood into the site. Sky plants the spike. And we wait for our Omen to complete his lurk. Right now, you are not the playmaker. You know? Right now, the playmaker is your Omen. Our only job right now is to stay alive, play with the Sky, plant the spike, and play passively. And wait for the Omen to work up behind the enemies and fuck them up. No, my dude. Kills. Kills. Blood!
Nowhere to run.
You deserve this death. I love how we are leaving our Sky with a spike to play solo through mid and tiles. Amazing. Amazing. I don't know. This Vyse ultimate is now pretty useless.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Brata, thank you for the Prime Gaming sub. 40 months. Jesus Christ, 4 years old now. Thank you a lot, man. Thank you a lot. I don't know about this Vyse ultimate. You know, most of the times these, you know, if you're pushing that B side, you should use it once you reach this position and you take some space control on the site, maybe for the postmans as well. That's why Vyse is so underwhelming right now. I feel that Agent is just destroyed. Listen, especially if you need to go first onto the bomb site, before you decide to go in, you need to deny some of these peaks and angles with your utility. Drop a Razor Vine here, so the enemies cannot peek you from this corner, and the backset as well. Then, we can drop a flash for the right side, like this, and with a Razor Vine here, and the flash on the right side, and the Sky Dog, we can clear the elbow, take the space, and get into this position. Then, use the ultimate, and take more space. But also, we cannot scale up into the bomb site without the smokes. You need to wait for the smokes. Oh, look where you are and where your teammates are. But even if you were playing Duelist, there should not be this much of a gap between you and your team. Slow down a bit. You do the executes based on utility that you get, based on where you think the enemies are, and based on how far or how close your teammates are. My dude is crazy, bro. Crazy. Oh, they actually won the last round, chat. So whoever gambled that they're gonna win the last round, good job, bro. So, are they going to win the last round? Yes. Okay. So, listen, we're not gonna watch the overtime. Like, I'm just gonna give you a few tips for overtime that you should generally follow in Valorant. So basically, the tip number one is whatever worked in the regular part of the match on the attacker side is what you should try to do during the overtimes as well. Like, you should not try to experiment. Like, just gamble on what worked. On a defender side, position in a way that makes most sense based on information from the regular part of the match. You know, what enemies did the most during a regular part of the game is what you should pre-assume they're gonna do during the overtime as well. And the rule number 3, draw the game if you can draw it. Like, first overtime, you can play it. Second overtime, you can play it. Third overtime doesn't exist for you. At that point, the game is way too much of a 50-50 gamble. And if you have that type of mentality, you should not be playing Valorant ranked at all. It is mega fucking stupid. Like, your job is to win a match in 24 rounds. If you got into overtime, the match is already so close that only God knows who's gonna win it. If you lose this match, not only that you wasted an hour of your life, but you're minus 20, and now you have to win 2 matches in a row just to be positive. 1 match to be equal. That is a gambler's and stupid mentality. Same as, surrender option doesn't exist. You play every game until the end. Even if 3 of your teammates leave a match, you play that match until the end. If Valorant server is gonna allow you to do that. So yeah, overall, first thing first. Let me open up your tracker again. First things first is the following. So, you playing Sentinels makes absolutely no fucking sense. Basically, you're not afraid to play aggressive. You're not afraid to take space. You're not afraid to take the duels. It is absolutely dog shit for you to play as any Sentinel. Now, what I would recommend you to play for the next 2 months is the following. I would recommend you to stick with Phoenix as one of your main agents. Based on your playstyle, Chamber also might work well. We can stick with Omen as some kind of a flex or fill agent. And we can also apply one more aggressive duelist as your 4th main agent. But playing anything else for you is just, I don't know why. Why would you do that to yourself? So basically, as the main agents, I would probably advise you to stick to the Phoenix and maybe dabble yourself into the Jet category. Like, you have that playstyle in yourself where you love playing these off angles, playing a bit more aggro, taking the space for your team. I don't know why would you limit yourself on anything else. But you don't have enough game knowledge and awareness to play an agent such as Yoru and Waylay. And that is why I would avoid them at this moment of time. Reyna and Iso really make zero fucking sense. You're not that type of a player, especially because you put yourself in a situations where you need to have some kind of a teleport, dash ability, some kind of an escape tool overall. Neon, definitely not. Like, based on your current game knowledge and awareness, like, all of this is just suicide for you at this moment of time. Until you fix all of the basics, all of the fundamentals that you're missing that we covered during this VOD review. Now, why Omen as a flex pick? So, this can be your flex, essentially, and fill. Omen and Chamber. Chamber, because if you still want to play some Sentinel, I would just play Chamber if I was you. You're not afraid to pick up the snipers. You play with snipers quite well as well. You're not afraid to play more aggressively, to pick some off angles on the defender side. All of the plays that you did with the Vyse on a defender side are good plays for Chamber mains and for Chamber players. And Omen, simply because, if you already have a, both aggressive and passive playstyle that you love to use, there isn't a better agent than Omen for that. Other agents I would not even consider as an option for the next maybe even 3 to 4 months. So all the way until the March or April, you should give a proper try. Not a proper try. You should just play these agents based on the maps on which you perform the best with these characters, or based on the team compositions. And then in 3 to 4 months from now, we can decide what is the next step for you. When it comes to some kind of a training, when it comes to other mistakes that you're making, number one problem of yours is that you're lacking consistency. But you cannot be consistent if you're not playing the game consistently, and if you're not replicating the playstyles and plays that are consistent. My dude is playing every agent, and agents that don't share the similar playstyle at all. You cannot be consistent in Valorant if you do this to yourself. So, consistency is the number one thing we should focus on. In the training, in the playstyle, in the executes, in the pathing, angle clearing, everything. Number dos. Second thing. On a defender side, you need to focus more on power plays, win conditions, and numbers advantages. Advantages essentially. Like, you need to be a bit faster to support your allies, to play with them, to refrag them, all of that good stuff. Also, you need to be more aware. Actually, on both attackers and defender side, you need to play with more fear. Fear that enemies can be anywhere and everywhere. Expect enemies on every single position where they might be at that moment of time. Just, there is one very simple rule that you always want to engrave within your gameplay in Valorant. What is that rule, Charlotte? I'm gonna tell you right now. If you lost information on one angle or one area of the map for more than 3 seconds, you behave like the enemies can be there and will be there. When you're re-clearing or when you're repositioning or positioning yourself. Done. 3 seconds. More than enough to be scared and to be aware that enemies can be there. If you didn't see all of the enemies on the minimap and you don't know where are all of the enemies. Now, the fourth thing is on attacker side, like, you need to have a better balance, when you want to play alone and when you want to play with your teammates. There needs to be a better balance between you doing something on your own and you doing something with your teammates, especially in the first 4 to 6 rounds. Play with your allies, measure the dicks with the enemies, and then you can make a decision based on information what you can do alone and what you can do to win that attacker side. Number 5, on attacker side, like, angle clearing, angle clearing, pathing, jump spotting, like, taking the fights is abysmal. Like, most of your fights are some open 50-50 fights where either you don't have any advantage or you're in some kind of a disadvantage. It is absolutely stupid that the first fight for you is that type of a fight. And number 6, no matter which agent you play, utility comes first. Before you take a fight, you look at your available utility, ask yourself what you should do with these abilities to take a bit more fair fights or fights in your advantage, and then you take a duel. Like that, we come to the 7th rule that you should apply in your gameplay. Before you make any decision, wait for 3 seconds behind the cover, reset yourself, ask yourself, what should you do? It is better if you make precise and good game decisions that are a bit slower right now, instead of consistently just running it down, rushing it out based on zero info from the minimap and from the current round and from the previous rounds that you're playing. Also, you need to heavily pay attention on, you need to come back to the basics. Like, you need to build your own rank playbook and data tracking documents. And you need to use my rank playbook right here as a basic ground for that. Like, my rank playbook can help you with 80% of the problems that I've mentioned right now. Start doing that. It's very important. And, as a main general training, what you should focus on are these topics that I've just mentioned. Like, and of course, like, what you can also do is you can maybe do some kind of a training for map awareness and general awareness. Maybe the previous one that I'll share with you, you can do it once again for a month. And when it comes to mechanical problems, like, we need to fix that with some kind of a good aim training routine, which I'm gonna develop for you and share with you after this VOD review. I need like 24 hours to figure out like what should I do with your aim and movement and how you're taking the duels. Other than that, that's it. You know, my final words would be, why the fuck are you playing Vyse? You know, fuck this agent, bro. Like, who plays Vyse in 2025 and 2026 when there's better options, especially in low elo? You know, come on. Thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe, leave a comment, all of that good stuff. And Frost, you can roll the closer. Yeah. Okay.